one, and we are live.
Hey! It's your favorite host of the Wednesday Night Crypto Chat with Bagsy and Hackerman Ace. We have officially fired Cryptoons from the show. He will no longer be with us ever again. He got liquidated from the show. This is your boy Thoreau. Follow me at Thoreau SZN. That's THOREAUSZN. I'm the new main host of this event. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
That is a beautiful intro, my friend, and I'm really happy to have you back on. Tonight we have a couple new guests. First, I'll start with those you already know.
Let's see here.
Mr.
What do we gotta do?
Yo, Tinga, as the producer of this event, I'm gonna need you to mute yourself while you figure your shit out.
So yeah, first things first, we got Mr. Hackerman Ace, aka Ace. How's it going, brother?
Yo, what's up, fellas? It's going good, man. Just chilling.
You've been hired as the new co-host for this evening. Well, for the Wednesday Night Crypto Chat, but Thoreau's taken the helm tonight.
Dude, it's always been thorough.
It's always good shit, man. And we also have a new member, Mr. OCDecaf. He's under Lil in the bottom right. What's up, man?
What up, everybody? Hey, welcome.
Welcome to the
Thanks for having me.
Crypto Chat, man. And we'll get back to you in a sec. And Chingus, are you set up or what?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, good shit, man.
Bro, they missed the intro. There's only 14 people on Twitch right now, and they just got there.
Don't worry.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, Lord Thoreau. Welcome to the Wednesday Night Crypto Chat. I'm here with Bagsy, Hackerman Ace, OCDecaf, and some dude from the Insane Clown Posse getting his stuff together.
That was a good intro, man. I appreciate you. And what's up, Cassandra? To everyone in chat, say what's up. Give us a warm welcome, and I'm happy to have everyone on. While Chingus is getting ready, OCDecaf, you want to give a quick little background, little intro, how you got into the space, what you're about?
Dude, absolutely I do. So, can y'all hear me? Is everything good? It's my first time doing it. I want to make sure I don't sound like shit. Okay, awesome. So, awesome. So, yeah, I got in during the... I'm a newbie. So, I was a newbie. Not really anymore, but I was a newbie in the 2017 bull run, and that's how I got into it. Because, like everybody else, saw the news and shit, got involved, bought some shit, made some money on the way up because, everybody's a genius in a bull market. And then I perfectly bought the top of ETH, and I held that bitch to the bottom. And then I realized I didn't know anything about trading at all. So I took about a year off and just paper traded and studied. And then, I kind of got a little bit better trading, and now I'm doing it more consistently. And I mostly trade crypto, a little bit of stocks. I've been learning some stocks and option stuff from my man Hackerman Ace, who's here on the stream with you guys as well. Definitely check out his stuff. That's really helpful. Yeah, no, absolutely. And then, I'm just here hanging out with y'all, being a degenerate, having a lot of fun.
Good stuff, man. Thanks.
Yo, big back above 10K. Just figured I'd let you all
Dude,
know.
thanks.
That shit just pumped real fucking quick,
I'm
like a
looking at it
$4
now.
handle.
Shit.
Yeah, that's actually a big...
It's because we're live. dude.
Yeah, no, it's...
Yeah, that's not a coincidence, people. We are live on Wednesday Night Crypto Chat. Tunes doesn't even show, and now we're pumping. So I think there's a direct correlation here.
Dude, every time goes on vacation, something... So he took a vacation from tonight. Market's doing great. So, secondly, Mr. Chingus, I don't know how you want me to say it. You want to give a quick background, quick little intro, how you got into the space and all that fun stuff?
Yeah, man. I just love tech, dude. So, I read about Bitcoin years and years and years ago and kept putting it off for years and years and years until finally, we started breaching that 10K mark, and you couldn't help but to to notice what was going on. Mm-hmm. So I took a closer look at it. I had some friends that weren't in the tech market started telling me about it, and I'm like, all right, well, this obviously hit an entirely different level. Mm-hmm. I need to take some time And it was confusing, man. And I'm a huge fan of tech. I'm an older dude. I was ripping computers apart, back in 92, 93. You know what I mean? So when they started getting in, I was like, oh man, I'm usually the answers guy, so I had to like study it, and it was confusing at first. To be totally honest with you, blockchain itself was just an interesting concept, and how they were going about it was fascinating. So yeah, I hopped in. I did some trading prior to that, regular stocks, not so much options, but like basic stocks, traditional market. Never really did any kind of TA until just like OC was saying, went in, got hammered, and was like, that can never happen again. So the whole idea is like you got to figure out what you did wrong. So it's a very expensive lesson to pay, but you pay your tuition and you learn the ropes, and along the way you try to help out as many people as you can, avoid the mistakes that you made, and that's sort of where I found myself. Is I kind of like the educational role, so I kind of like to make the mistakes for everybody else, and then sort of let them know how they can avoid it.
Fair enough. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. And yeah, no, there definitely is a tuition cost to it, and hopefully you graduate by the end of it and you don't give up. I think that's the biggest
I think I'll be a learner for the rest of my life. That's and that's not just this market. That's all markets. It's but I love to learn. I mean, I always have that. I just want to learn. So whatever it is, I don't care what the subject is, unless it's something I have absolutely no passion for whatsoever. But luckily, I have a passion for trading. So it's but there's enough to learn where I'll be busy easy the next 3 to 5 years, just continuing to learn. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, 100%. And for those in chat who might not know Mr. Thoreau, do you want to give a quick background intro on who you are, what you're about, and all that? I'm sure the people are curious.
Yeah. I was born the spawn of Satan. Came to revive the crypto markets. Been here since 2017. Created the pumps, created the dumps, and now I'm just shitting on everybody daily. It's a routine.
I love it. You gonna share your cam tonight, or is it not a makeup night for you?
Oh, no, bro, no.
Okay.
I thought you were talking about it. I thought you were talking about a whole different kind of camming.
No, man. we can get into that later if you want.
That's for his premium group only.
Yeah, that's well after 9 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, bro.
You got to get into prime time.
We're about to start working in 50 minutes. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, I could share that with you, but you got to tip some tokens.
I'll retweet it.
Yeah. No, it's not a good hair day, bro. And I can't fully dox myself. I got to stay somewhat anonymous on this account because Jack's trying to get me, bro. You feel me?
Dude, no, man. Let's actually talk about that. Like yesterday, I realized that Thoreau. How many accounts did you have suspended yesterday or 2 days ago recently?
So my first account, I had like 25,000 followers. I banned that one on purpose because I had a Britney Spears meltdown moment. So I just let that one go. Then I started a new one, bro. And I'm pretty sure I was up to like almost 3,000 followers real quick. And I'm pretty sure I called out Beaksy Exchange for manipulating their token and dumping it like 40% almost in a matter of minutes. And like next thing I know, bro, the bot army came out, and I'm pretty sure they just reported all my shit and got me banned for good because I didn't even do anything like really wild on that account. And Twitter also didn't give me a reason as to why I got banned. And so then I started up this new account. Like I gave myself like a week off Twitter because I was debating, am I even going to get back on this piece of shit? And bro, I signed up before I could even tweet. They fucking suspended me for 12 hours. I put one tweet out, bro. They suspended me for 12 hours. You could see if you look at my first tweet on my profile, Hackerman Ace like put a reply on there. Like, damn, bro, they got him already.
Oh yeah, the minute you made your account, they were like, nope, limited.
Yes, dude. And so then today I got banned again for 12 hours over making a joke and told some dude just to punch himself in the face instead of talk about politics and shit. So they banned me again, bro. They're really out here trying to get me. So any developers out there, anybody with some clout who knows how to make a social media platform, hit me up because I'm trying to make a censorship-free platform Completely censorship free. You could say and do whatever the fuck you want.
I think they have one. They have a few.
Yeah,
It's
but they're all
called
shit
Gab,
and
but
no one
it's-
uses them.
Yeah, it's called Gab, and
Well,
it's super
that's
racist.
like any brand new platform. No one's gonna use it until they do.
No, but that's not created by me. They're gonna use it if I make it. Duh.
Of course.
Yeah,
What the hell was I thinking?
yeah, Thoreau, literally your third tweet, long Bitcoin or the Twin Towers will fall again. Like, you're not doing yourself any favors.
Oh yeah, dude, I should probably delete that, dude, before I get banned for that. Fuck. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and delete that one tomorrow. I didn't even think about that shit.
Dude, you need a tweet supervisor before you send anything out.
Hey, it worked though, bro. It pumped. They didn't want the fucking Twin Towers to fall again, so I guess it worked. You know what I'm saying? Anything for the crypto community, I'm willing to do.
You're an idiot. Yo, what's up, Bobby Dials? What's up?
One for the team, man. One for the team.
Yeah. So whoever's in chat, say what's up. Hit that follow button, and let's get the show going. Bitcoin just had a little pump. It's looking all right. Still in a downtrend. It's kind of shit. Ace, you want to do a quick Ichi analysis for me if you have it open?
Yeah, give me just a second.
What the fuck are you doing?
Messed up my own
Dude, what
chart.
is this
Yeah,
platform you've been using?
This is
Yo, that shit's so funny, dude.
yeah, this is Go charting. Been messing around with this one.
Is that Modi in the background?
Oh, I started messing with that Go charting.
Yeah, it's
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job. The developers are really friendly and like fixing everything right away.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just having a little fun with this one.
Yo, why the fuck do you have so many Salesforce trading view tabs open? What are you doing over there with Salesforce?
Dude, the struggle's here. I gotta like get every time frame, man. But yeah, man, it broke out. It was downtrending for a little bit. I'm already long, so I gotta get an ET1 open. Gotta hide my Salesforce.
Fuck, I think I used Salesforce once, like 4 or 5, no, longer, like 6 years ago. I worked this shit summer call center thing, and they were using Salesforce. Such a shit job, man. Has anyone ever
You can't make money off their stock though.
Oh no, that's a completely different story. That's just my experience when I see Salesforce. I just think of that shitty summer where I was sweating bullets in a dress shirt in this fucking boiler room.
Man. Dude, I see the CRM ticker and I'm like, options are cooking, man.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Salesforce is kicking in options. It always is.
Are
Right.
you?
Go-to.
Yeah, like
So for me right now with this, it was the biggest thing was getting up to this Ichi point over here. So if we can get this next daily closed up over here, I have no doubt we'll end up breaking through and hitting up some higher highs. At this point, I really don't see it going down over here unless we get price action into the cloud. So that's why tomorrow's open is going to be big, and it's happening on a weekend too, which really isn't what I want to see. But yeah, let's see what happens. This is really good that we ended up bouncing right over here.
We're bouncing, bro. That was the final bounce. Richard Hart said we're going to 8,500, and I'm not willing to let that happen. I will sell my spleens. I will go 100x long on every platform there is to make sure we don't see 8,500 in spite of Richard Hart.
Yo,
Yeah, I do just despite of crypto Twitter because everybody wants that gap fill really bad, and I don't want them to get it.
Richard Hart. Yeah, who is he? I've seen his profile before.
He's the dude in the throne with the top hat. He's the reason why I can no longer wear a top hat.
He ruined it for everyone, huh?
Yeah.
But is he a
Like
dev?
when I was growing up, I used to always wear a trench coat, and then the mafia came, and then I can no longer wear the trench coat. It wasn't right.
I can't even wear purple bandanas anymore.
I still wear my bandanas.
That's my struggle.
That won't change.
Yeah. So BTC bounce. I was looking at the altcoins earlier on Mex. They were looking pretty good, but right now they seem to I don't know, some bearish divs popping up here on lower time frames. Not to say it's over or anything. Nothing's broken down per se, but if BTC starts running up, I don't know if they'll be able to hold the pace. I can't remember the last time that the big Mex alts pumped in unison with BTC. That was probably a few years ago.
It's been a couple months. Yeah. Oh, in unison. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, like 2015, I think. But probably Thoreau might know a bit better than me. My memory's a bit hazy from that point.
Yo, it's all dependent right now on what Litecoin does, bro.
Okay.
If you watch everything, bro, ever since the bottom, dude, literally Litecoin is leading the market. In every market, especially like the tech sectors, there's always a leader and there's a laggard. And I'll abide by that rule till the day I die. And right now, Litecoin is the leader and Bitcoin's the laggard. The only two reasons I could think that Litecoin is the leader is because one, it's a lower market cap, so it's going to cycle faster than Bitcoin will, and it's also like the silver to Bitcoin's gold, quote unquote. And fucking the halvening is quicker, bro. The halvening's a year faster. So for those two reasons, I think Litecoin's leading the market. And so if we see a big Litecoin dump, like within the next couple days, you could expect a pretty big Bitcoin dump. But if you were watching things today, Litecoin was the first altcoin, at least in the majors, to spike. It was up like 9%. It went from like $87 to 95 in a matter of 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And then shortly after that, everything else followed suit. So I pretty much just follow Litecoin because it's been leading the market the whole way. When Litecoin has pumped, everything else has pumped after it. When Litecoin's dumped, everything else has dumped after it. And so until the halvening, I'm following that. And I might just stick to that rule until it doesn't become a rule anymore.
Yeah, well said, man. Ace, do you have any comments on your Litecoin, on your baby?
Yeah, I mean, I don't doubt him because I mean, I'm the first one to say because like once it flipped that weekly 20 SMA, that was the first to flip the weekly 20 SMA after that entire bearish downtrend. That was before Bitcoin as well, so that's pretty big for me. As of right now, the setup it's having on my screen, the 20 SMA is cutting up on the daily, really bad on the Kijun. It's about to cut down on the Tenkin. That's really bad, and the way it's about to close up, even worse. So we either need a bullish Kumo twist, or we need to break this downtrend fast and get to that 111 point like soon. Because if not, this is looking really bad. I mean, for the halving in general, it looks like it's a horrible setup for the halving. It looks like it's about to dump some more. Yeah, not a fan of Litecoin right now, but it just all depends. If we can get this bounce going with Bitcoin a little bit more and just get this moving to like 111 soon, we'll see it. But right now, it's still just like pretty much just doing the stupid lightning bolt pattern before it ends up making another.
Does the halvening mean I'm going to lose half my coins?
It's already like
yes, at least.
Yeah, at least. There's a threshold somewhere between a half and 75%. So watch out. Be careful.
Yeah. So yeah, halving's not a good thing for this.
Yo, can you pull up LTC BTC real quick?
It's probably worse. Yeah, it's worse.
Ooh.
I mean, it's bouncing on the support, whatever it is.
Rainbow hammers.
Ding dong.
Yeah, we're basically at resistance right now on that.
It finally broke the 20 SMA after this giant downtrend, so it's possible. Yeah, if this this looks actually pretty good actually now that I look at it.
Hey, there's some
Wouldn't mind doing a long on BitMEX. Long position.
time to stop punch your ass.
They can try.
They can try. Can't stop punch you if there's no stop. Oh, so you'd go up to the cloud?
Close to it, yeah. Why not?
Fair enough.
Stop right underneath this area and then push up.
Sexy.
What do you think, Thoro? That's a daily.
Yo, I'm looking at it right now, bro. I'm not looking at the BTC one, even though I just told you to pull it up. I'm looking at the USD one. But I think, bro, if we could break 101, then we might. But yeah, I don't know, bro, because historically, like, it's gonna dump at the halvening, but it's not history anymore. This is the present. So
yeah, that's my biggest thing about people looking at like older fractals. I'm like, well, I don't really like looking at the past since everything changes, especially with Bitcoin.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Someone in chat, Bobby Dials, he said, so I'm in Canada and I have some gold coins and some gold that I want to sell in order to buy Bitcoin. I did not realize how hard it is to sell gold at fair market value. It's unreal. Everywhere I went, the prices I got were ridiculous, so I'm wondering how the hell is gold a good store of value if it's so hard to get a fair value for it when it comes time to sell?
That's how they get
gold is not a good store of value.
Depends on what you consider fair value, right? Fair value is not market value. So market value is supply and demand. So if there ain't no demand, anybody have physical gold, you're not going to get a good price.
I've honestly never even thought about that. That's such a great point.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, this market is no different in that regard, but the best thing about this market, which makes it not infallible, but which makes it unique, is that there is limited supply. especially especially talking Bitcoin. I mean, of course, you got some coins out there that that go on forever. But if you're talking for something like USD, something that you could just print more of, something that you can just create debt ceiling, something that you can maintain a majority of to push and pull as you need the economy to go in your direction. And then you talk about something that has an absolute limited finite supply. It's apples to oranges. But somebody has to want it, right? Every buyer needs a seller. Every seller needs a buyer. There has to be somebody on the other side who's willing to say, yeah, I'll buy it at that price. So gold itself, you want to sell gold, like you got to get yourself to a coin show, or you got to get yourself to
do it online.
What's that?
I see people sell gold on like Instagram and just like online. They have a better chance on there, than they do at the store.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to a dealer, it'd be like going to a pawn shop. I mean, they're going to give you the worst price imaginable because they figure you need to sell it, and if you need to, that means that it's your problem. All right, it's not theirs. They don't need it. So it's just like someone trying to sell something online. They could put an astronomical price on it because they really don't want to sell it. But if someone's willing to give them 5 times more than what they paid for it, okay, guess what? Everyone's got a price, and that's my price. Otherwise, I'm not selling. So they know that you're in the need. So if you're in the need and you need to sell that gold, chances are most people are willing to take a hit on the price in order to just have cash in pocket.
Yeah, there's always a winner.
So, like you were saying, go to the market where people are looking for it.
Yeah. So I made a post yesterday or 2 days ago, and I looked at the top 10 cryptocurrencies by market cap, and I asked people which project they believed would die first out of the top 10. So I want.
Yo, Top is in for the corn, bro. Dump that shit.
Thought we were friends.
I thought you liked me. So yeah, which out of hold up. Ace, do you want to pull up the top 10, or one of you guys pull it up for me? Because I don't want to take my screen off the.
Let's start with you. Which one do you think is going to pump the most? Over what time frame are we talking?
Wait, dump or die?
Or go to zero. Go to zero.
Yeah.
All right,
shit, none of them, bro. They're not going to zero.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Look,
it'll go to 1.
Regardless,
someone's gonna be trying to sell it.
Yeah. What's your time period, Bagsy, on this?
I didn't set one. I just assumed that eventually one will die. It's it's inevitable. Everything dies eventually.
Nah, bro. You know what Made Safe is?
I didn't know.
Is it still? Are we still running there?
In the top 10.
Oh, that shit's been around since like 2013, 2012, and it's still here. It's not going anywhere, dude. And it's a worthless piece of shit.
You see that old you probably didn't see it, but I put a tweet together from 2013. Was it 2013?
Yeah.
I think 2013 to recent on all the top 10s and how they've changed. It was a cycle, right? I think it was Cinco de Mayo or something every year. But like what you see in the top 10, and I remember someone telling me this a while back. They were saying just be cautious about dumping all your money in the top 10. They're not always going to be the top 10. And I'm like, yeah, I mean that makes sense. But it wasn't until I actually went back and started looking at it, I was like, dude, some of these coins. I mean, I guess they were just top 10 because there was 15 other coins to choose from. But now you got 3,200 something crypto coins out there. It's like you actually have to have a substantial market cap. But looking back at it, you're like, why were they even there? What were they doing back then? They got people so excited. And I think it was because there was just very few to choose from. When you have a market that has 30 different crypto coins, right? It's not hard to be in the top 10.
That's not all you had to choose from, though. That's just all Coin Market Cap had on their shit. There was a lot more than that.
I would imagine there was a lot more, but I think they have the best history I could find. CoinGecko is probably the next closest, and then Coin Checkup, but I couldn't find anybody that had like actual data. History from day one, from 2009. I couldn't find one.
Yeah, 100%.
I'd like to know if there's a source out there because, dude, I looked, man. I don't want to say I'm a good researcher, but I put my time in. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, you'd have to look on forums and shit like that. Go to like Bitcoin Talk. That's the only place you'll find stuff that old.
Yeah,
But it won't have
Bitcoin Talk,
like the historical data. It'll just have people talking about it and shit. And you'll be able to
yeah,
catch like you'd have to create your own data.
Yeah.
that's the
Yo,
thing.
Hackerman Ace, pull up Peercoin BTC
Oh
on
man, I
Bittrex.
got wrecked on that one too.
Yo,
Oh
that
man.
is, bro. If you want to see the future of Zcash, look at it.
You say pure coin?
It's like, oh look, it's up
Here.
25% today, but it's
Yeah,
on
there you go.
Cryptopia, so I'm never getting it back.
This is like
No,
some
it's on that's
dystopian
on
future.
Trex too, I think.
Look, here we go.
I'm pretty sure.
It was dead for like years, then bull run.
Oh, okay, so let me reiterate or reformulate my question. Not death as in price action, but death as in utility. No one using it. Therefore, price.
Okay, they're already dead.
Fuck. I guess there's no winning. I guess my thought process.
Which one will become irrelevant first is what you want to ask.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, which one would become irrelevant? I would think BSV out of all of them.
Out of every coin, or what are we
out
comparing?
of the top 10. I don't know if you guys want to include Tether in there or not, but
No, oh no, and also
it could be Tether
Tether-
also, you know, because of the
yeah, Tether could definitely die, but it's got more use
Yo,
case
if
than
Tether
everything else
dies, they're
right
all
now.
dying.
Yeah,
So what
if-
about that doesn't
So I'm
happen?
saying, out of everything, Tether has the best fundamentals at the top 10. Well, I mean, not fundamentals, but like usability right now. So
I'm gonna pick EOS or Stellar if I had to.
SB
really?
definitely.
I don't know. Doesn't EOS have the most DApps at the moment, or the most active DApps? I don't want to talk at my ass, but for some reason I had a feeling that they had a lot of work done.
EOS is moving. It's a usable. It's not that Bitcoin or Ethereum can't do what EOS does. Just EOS just does what they want to do. It's just like other people make Kleenex, you know, besides freaking Kleenex. You know, they're not the only tissue company in the world. But people like them a little softer, and people like them with aloe. You know what I mean? Whatever. Choose your flavor.
Pretty much.
You know, like if you look into the code of Bitcoin can do what every one of the other 3,200 coins can do if and when the developers choose to implement it. So if you're talking about what do you want today, right? People want fast transactions today. People want scalability today, even though you're not even scaling it at the moment. People want use cases where they can replace cash. People want privacy, or they want semi-anonymous, right? Or they want full anonymous. But all of those are just code, man. It's just implemented into the code. So it's like you need one.
Do they really want that, or do they just want to make money on shitcoins?
Well, I mean, there's a theory that goes back that every altcoin is just for stacking sats, and you know that may or may not be the case. I would think it's a little diluted with 3,000 something plus. It's a little hard to keep track of.
I think it's the truth, bro.
I would have just made like 20, and I just would have just pumped them on a schedule. That would have made the most sense to me.
Future
I don't want all that
Do you follow the private equity industry in blockchain and all the patents and applications they have for patents for different products, services, stuff like that?
I know that Bank of America holds the most patents on blockchain out of anybody in the world.
Yeah, bro. Every company has hundreds, not even hundreds, bro, but they have like dozens and dozens of blockchain applications for supply chain management, for auditing. All these shitcoins are garbage, bro. The only coin that has any use case right now is Litecoin, for real, and I mean that. And Monero, but
that's not true, though. I mean, put it this way, right? Litecoin can do what Litecoin does, but Litecoin doesn't get you transaction fees on Binance. That's a utility, right? The whole purpose of BNB is to get your fees down, right? So Litecoin's not going to do that for you. You can have all the Litecoin in the world. You're going to pay full fees, right? So that's the idea behind a utility. Right?
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
Utility is like Cole's Cash. You know what I mean? Like
aside from BNB, give me another utility.
Tether.
Yeah, Tether. That's utility.
All right. What's the use case?
Being able to have synthetic
out of the market. Yeah, out of the market.
Being able to get in and out of Bitcoin with synthetic cash without having to sell into.
That's all. Just makes it easier, right?
What's the benefit of that, even though it's the same taxable event as opposed to using actual cash?
Time, right? If you're trying to take Bitcoin out of the market and transfer it onto your private wallet, how long is that going to take you?
Yeah,
2
but if
hours?
you're using, let's say you're using a regulated U.S. exchange, what's the
You know what I'm
utility?
saying?
Why would I go into fake money when I could go into real fake money?
So I can
Because
hide my money.
how many exchanges do you have with real fake money? So think about it, right? Until you have the implementation, you got to remember the laws behind an exchange. The second you allow a fiat on ramp, everything changes, right? You're no longer just hosting a site that allows people to trade peer to peer. You
Yeah, I
are
remember
now
when everybody
on
wanted,
ramping
yeah,
fiat. It's
I remember when
entirely different. It's 1,000% different.
You know,
You know what I mean?
Binance has fiat on ramps.
Like what Gemini had to do to get fiat on ramps was like
Fucking
banana.
sacrifice a goat,
Yeah,
destroy a
it's
village
like
of.
it's crazy. You know, you can have an exchange. Like you and me can make an exchange tonight. Like it's gonna suck because it won't have any liquidity, but the idea behind it is very simple. You allow peer-to-peer transactions where you simply host the idea. Now they take it a step further for privacy and security, and they say, all right, we'll have our own hot wallet. And then from there, we could swap in and out so we don't have to go back to the chain, like yada, 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 all that crap. But the second you say, hey, you can now buy from us, right, Bitcoin with USD, with fiat, it's an entirely different ballgame. And that changes everything. So that's where Tether comes in. Tether makes it just,
Yeah,
you know,
can get
I
around
don't
that.
like Tether. All right. I'll be right on the record for it.
I don't
But
either.
I like the concept behind it. I like the
No, I get
idea
it. I'm
of
just playing
saying,
devil's advocate.
I
It's
like
not,
the
bro.
idea
I
of
mean,
saying, hey,
that's not a real
I'm
utility because
long
that
with
already
Bitcoin and I
exists.
just want to get
Like,
out. You know what I mean?
we also
That-
had John enter the chat.
Yo.
Yeah, what's up, Charles? John.
Yeah,
Yo,
how's
that's
it
my
going?
boy Charles, the ETH. His name's not Charles. I'm gonna show the teeth
Yeah,
right
what's up,
now.
guys? I just got off work, so sorry I'm a little late.
You
You
got
don't
off
look
what?
right if you're not bleeding from your eyes, man. Get it.
Yeah. So
Wow,
anyone want
bro.
to catch me
I
up
am
to speed
so
real quick?
scammed right now. You
Why?
gotta change your name to John the ETH.
No. That's just a throwaway email. So I'm John Smith on there.
So what's
You should
good?
put
What's
a
going
door
on,
on your
man?
closet, though. Or just
No,
like,
I like it. I actually took the
get
doors
rid of
off.
that pink shirt. What's going on with that thing?
Work shirt. Let's see. We got work shirt.
There it is. Beautiful.
I keep it styling at work.
Yeah, dude. Good to see you, man. How was
Very
your lunch?
nice.
You have a good little day.
Yeah. Got lunch with my boss. Is kind of like a goodbye, thank you kind of thing. So
Yeah.
kind of just wrapping things up. Tuesday's my last day.
Congrats, man. Yeah, so I was wondering,
Nice.
you said you're at your job. I thought you quit, but yeah, congratulations. Is it hard leaving for you? Is it hard saying goodbye?
No.
Or
I've
not at all?
been trying to get out of there since day one.
Wow.
I mean I like the work that I do. It's interesting. It's I underwrite commercial loans, and work with small businesses. So it's cool. I'm helping kind of stimulate the local economy in my eyes, but going to work every day, getting there at 7, 8 in the morning and sitting there for 8 hours when I can see the beach from my office is
Wow,
not the best.
that's tough.
So trying this out, seeing how it goes.
Good.
Who knows? Maybe I'll be begging for my job in a year or two.
Yeah, what's in the pipeline, bro? What are you about to do?
I've got some stuff that I've been working on. Have the podcast that I'm going to be able to dedicate, full effort to. And then just some like Amazon shit that supplements income. I'm going to finally be able to trade a little bit more and focus on that because trying to trade while at work is a mess and a half. So just a couple different things that'll all hopefully add up to at least my salary within the coming months. So
No, good stuff.
pretty
man.
much ready.
Good luck to you, man.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that, guys.
You'll be
That's
So
able.
what have we been chatting about so far? What have I missed? Anyone want to just like catch?
All right.
Speed.
So
Well, unfortunately, Cryptunes went to a Bukaki. He got AIDS and he passed away.
no.
There we
So
go.
we're mourning
Rest
the
in
loss of
peace.
Cryptunes. Yeah, and then
Smoke
we're
one.
just having a debate on utility in the space. What coin in the top 10 do you think will become completely irrelevant first?
Here, if you pull up your screen, I got it on Twitch here.
Yeah. Let me hold on one sec.
Bitcoin,
If I was gonna
Ethereum.
throw,
Yeah.
Bitcoin's gonna die first.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. He just said Bitcoin. What the fuck?
This is all a scam.
There's no
let me
rules.
see.
You can say whatever you want.
And you said within the next year. You said
No time. No time frame.
no time frame.
It's irrelevance. I said was gonna go to 0, but no one agrees with me that any of these projects will.
Yeah,
go
I was
0,
gonna say I
so-
don't think any of these are gonna go to 0.
I
But,
think SV might.
SV might. I was gonna say EOS might.
Really? Yeah. Okay. Two EOS, one Bitcoin
Yeah,
SV.
that's just like a shot in the dark. I really don't think any of them are going to 0 anytime soon. But yeah, that would be my 2 guesses. What else did everyone say?
I said SV.
There we go.
Yeah, I said SV.
I said Stellar and EOS.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Looks like we're all kind of on the same page.
Fucking monkey in chat. He's like, "Hi Bagsy, I waited 30 minutes to say that," and then he said a full 30 minutes, man. And my Nightbot's like, "Stop spamming the chat."
I had a lot to say.
Fucking shit. Yo, monkey. Yeah, I don't
Why do you
know.
wait so long to say it? Just say it, dude.
Because I put this
Yo,
30
Bitcoin
minutes
top
break.
is in. Everybody listening right now, set your short orders.
This is
Bro,
not
you did this
financial-
last week, and
That sounds like financial advice.
everybody got licked.
Yeah, well, listen, bro. I needed liquidation for my shorts last week, so I had to go long. And I needed liquidation for my longs this week, so I need people to short.
It's freaking out of it.
You will be happy. I did just close half my position long because we hit the MA. So we're still.
Yeah, 10185 is the top though, for real. Check it out.
That was my sell order.
Wait, 10.
The
Oh,
175.
I was gonna say 10185. I'm looking at futures. I was like, what the fuck?
No, 175. But that's on the hourly on Bybit, so that's whatever. That's whatever.
Yeah, so I'm looking through some of the questions that people asked. All right, one more question about BTC. Maybe Ace or someone who knows a bit more about EMAs can answer. The 100-day EMA seems to be pretty much spot on with the 30-minute candle. Is it luck, a broken clock, or is there more to it than that?
It's an algorithm, buddy.
All the above.
That's all it is.
Fair enough.
You want to take it, Hack? You want me to?
You can.
It's like this, man. If you have a bot, right, that's programmed to do something, it's going to do that something, right? And when you have enough bots that are all programmed to basically look at the same thing, it's called dynamic support resistance. So popular ones are going to be moving averages and Fibonacci's. They sort of pick the time and place, and they sort of let them rock and roll. So every day it's up to us to decide what they're respecting and what they're not respecting. But a majority of the time, we trade against bots. So if you understand how a bot operates and what they're looking for, they're not going to arbitrarily buy and sell at some random spot on the chart. They just don't do that. They're given instructions and they follow those instructions. So if the instructions are, 100 SMA on 30-minute chart, buy, sell, rinse, repeat, find resistance at the 200 MA, buy it back at the 100 MA, ping pong 2-3 times, and then move on price action from there. And then that's exactly what they're going to do. When you have 75% of the market doing that, as far as liquidity is concerned or volume is concerned, then they're going to respect them. It's the retail traders, it's us that make those atrocious marks on the chart where people buy when there's zero reason to buy and people sell when there's absolutely no reason to sell. That's us.
Guilty as charged. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know.
That's 8 million new people register on Coinbase in the last 30 days. That's those people buying Bitcoin just whenever the hell they want. So they just do. I'm guilty, man. I've done it when I first started trading. I had no clue. If things were moving, I'm like, I got to be in on that. So I just buy it. Well, guess what? You just bought resistance. That was stupid because it just went down. It's like that on every chart, in every exchange, on every coin, no matter what. There are coins out there that nobody trades. And you can look at volume on those where they're essentially idle for 30 to 60 days with the same 5 people sitting at a poker table in their mom's basement just trading back and forth to each other. And then you'll get, the pump and dump group will squeak in and they'll say, hey, let's do this. And you'll see the volume ramp up for about, 4 to 8 hours. Then you'll see a massive 40, 80% wick. And then you'll see it dump back down 115, 120% once they got enough people in there and rock and roll. But that's how a lot of those coins act. I mean, if you look at the trading volume on them, there are no bots trading those. That's why they don't respect any levels. You could TA them to death and you'll never come up with anything except why the hell they buy there? Why the hell they sell there? That doesn't make any sense. So if you chart the majors, or even just a major mid caps, like basically anything in the top 25, top 50, and there's a lot of volume, there's a lot of liquidity. You'll notice there's a lot of respect when it comes to MAs for sure, because that's dynamic support resistance. Fibonacci levels are more often than not respected or respected to an extent. Even patterns, I'm a big fan of harmonics. And those are fairly well respected, not as much in crypto as they are in Forex, but they're still respected to an extent. And that really comes back down to the algorithms that the bots are looking at. You don't want to, if everybody were to buy and sell at the same level, the only people who they'd ever be trading against would be the retail traders. And it can't work that way for liquidity purposes. So they do need to spice it up every now and then. And, if the 100 MA is their flavor of the day, then that's the flavor of the day. If the next day it's going to be the 70 EMA or the 200 SMA, then it is what it is. But you'll notice some of those will line up to each other, where a 4-hour 20 MA is going to line up to, let's say, a 50 MA on a 1-hour chart or on a 30 chart. Or even the EMA, because it's calculated differently, more weighted to the new price. You'll get those that'll push the price up, it seems like, and those will be in confluence with a longer MA on a higher time frame chart. I probably took that too far. My bad.
No. That's I think that summarizes it quite well. Thank you. Any comments, boys? Any any additions to that?
I think he covered it.
All right. I think we got it.
I don't even trade. So let's see.
Well, not yet, man.
No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
That's funny. No, he killed that. Yeah, good job.
Yo, so yeah, OCDecaf, I want to hear a bit more from you. Any hot topics you've been listening to? Anything you want to talk about? Any
About what? What's my range? Give me hot topics regarding trading. Are we talking about trading specifically? Talking about anything? What are we talking about here?
Have you heard anything cool on
you.
Twitter? Any funny stories? Anything? It could be revolving crypto or even outside of it. I couldn't give less of a fuck.
Yo,
Honestly, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I got a conspiracy theory, bro. Do you think Coinbase actually added 8 million fresh accounts recently?
No.
All right.
Wait, hold on. Wait, am I missing something? Is it like a new report that actually happened or something? Like,
Yeah.
I've been pretty absent, actually.
They said they recently added like 8 million accounts within like the past.
8 million in the last 30 days is what I read.
Yeah, you believe that shit?
I believe they can.
The world
That means
big,
none
man.
of them use Twitter.
8 million people is not much. I mean, at the end of the day,
Yeah, worldwide, it's not. It's definitely
nothing.
plausible.
So yeah, I mean, it's possible. Was there enough attention in the last 30 days? I mean, we had one good move up, and it's been down ever since. So, if I had to calculate back 30 days, were we in the height of anything? Because that would pique my interest.
I think it just comes down to the fact that, like, yes, I think you could probably justify bringing in that many new users because we're back at 10K, just like psychologically. Like, people are going to be more interested and it's way easier. Like, I have so many normal people asking me about Bitcoin now. Nobody asked me for the past year. Nobody said anything about it.
Oh,
and now,
you know what?
I mean,
now everybody's like,
now almost on a daily basis.
yeah, no, it's definitely like in the media cycle again. So I think it's definitely justifiable that 8 mil got added to a worldwide platform, also like the largest exchange.
Yeah,
so, I think so.
Don't forget Libra, right? Libra brought the conversation back to the table because I I had people that know nothing about crypto, nor do they even want to hear a whisper about it in the last 2 years. Just like you said, start asking me about crypto again, and their reason to bring up the conversation was, "Hey, what do you know about Libra coin?" So
yeah, exactly.
Facebook users,
Libra's
I
definitely
think,
creating bullish sentiment
yeah.
to people who don't really know what's going on. I agree.
So
completely.
let's say Facebook has how many users? Like
2
300
billion.
million?
No,
2
2 billion.
Yeah.
2
Okay, so I
billion.
don't feel like doing the math, but 2 billion and 8 million, whatever the percent of that is, and drag them into America, make it an American base, and make them already not a crypto enthusiast and a Coinbase registered user. And yeah, I would say 8 million is, we're good.
Reasonable.
I think that's reasonable. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I do too.
I think they're pumping their numbers, bro. They're preparing for an IPO because they're not making all that good fee money anymore. So they got to pump their shit before the IPO.
See, I don't think that's not. I don't think that's. That's what I'm saying. I think it's believable, and I think they could pump their numbers in this environment because of the new hype. So like they may have only added 5, but like we don't know the difference. So hey, 8 million. You know,
8 sounds better.
that's what I was gonna. That was my original thought. Is that like I think it's plausible. Do I think they actually did that? Given like some of their behavior, probably not. But
Right.
yes, I do think like I mean Twitter's pop. I'm getting hella followers again. Like I wasn't getting like. I mean, I know some of you guys get like nonstop followers all day, but like I can kind of like based on how what the hype is on like the media cycle, I definitely get more followers. If Bitcoin's dumping, like nobody's following me. If Bitcoin's like rallying, like when we did the first re-rally back up to 14, dude, everybody loved me. Everybody wanted to follow me, and like I don't fucking, you know what I mean? Like everybody just floods into Twitter looking for info. So
yeah, that's true. But think about it for a second, right? Facebook is its own environment. Right?
Mhm.
Twitter is its own environment. I got plenty of
Right.
people that are on Facebook that want nothing to do with Twitter and vice versa.
right,
So that just because they got a Coinbase account doesn't mean they're going to Twitter for information. They might just
absolutely.
go back to Facebook for their information,
Oh,
which is probably
totally.
a market that we should probably start trying to corner. But all that being said,
I got a few friends on Facebook, Twitter, and they say it's miserable. So
yeah,
Facebook,
do it.
Twitter.
yeah, I mean
I
Facebook,
know
crypto,
people
Facebook.
Oh.
My bad. Crypto Facebook, and
I
they
was
say
like,
it's
what? That
miserable.
sounds miserable. Facebook,
Yeah.
Twitter,
Crypto FB, man.
Yeah. Don't waste your time.
Twitbook.
Yeah, I have a Facebook group actually that I started in 2017. It's not
Bagsy
under the
now.
Bagsy name or anything, but
Oh, okay.
I just realized that I don't want to be financially responsible for anyone, especially at the time when I didn't really know as much. Yeah, I still don't know that much, but I was just like, yeah, this is not a good idea. Time to put a mask on so I can go.
I feel like the users on
Trouble.
Twitter are a little more sophisticated too. Like on
Mhm.
Facebook, people ask some dumbass fucking questions, and you got to deal with that shit if you own the page. Like Twitter, at least people are a little like intelligent. You know what I mean? They might not be the smartest.
Who are you
Yes.
but
following?
They got a few more brain cells firing than people on Facebook.
I think it's also a different clientele, right? I think Facebook have morphed into the older generation. The younger generation sort of slipped to Snapchat and Twitter, where, like
Yeah.
now, like moms and dads and grandparents, they're on Facebook because that's how they stay connected.
And it's also way bigger than any other social media, and like a majority of people in the world are pretty dumb, so you get that kind of exposure.
Yeah, that's
So
got a good point.
yeah,
Meanwhile,
I don't know how y'all even touch Facebook. I haven't touched that shit.
I don't have it. I deleted that shit like 3 years
I
ago.
thought about
I've
making
never
like an
gone back.
anonymous one, like literally I was talking about today because I'm like selling like a ton of sneakers and stuff. I'm like selling a ton of stuff in my house, like just basically getting rid of everything I don't need, and I'm selling on eBay, and like eBay is not that popping, and there are way more users on Facebook Marketplace than there are on even eBay. So like, I don't know. It's worth noting. Facebook's definitely a beast in its own right. It's just a terrible platform.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. But it's exactly that. It's its own platform. You know what I mean? With its own culture, its own world, its own users that do their they do their own thing. It's just that I do know a lot of people that have never crossed. It's either Facebook only or it's Twitter only.
Yeah.
Very few even want to manage 2 social media accounts of that magnitude. It's just,
I don't even think it's that, bro. I think people come to Twitter because they appreciate good debate and like good back and forth conversation, because it's not so much like media based as like an Instagram or a Facebook is. Like there's a lot of media on them, but there's not a lot of good like conversation or debate. And I think that's where like Twitter and Reddit kind of take the cake, and that's why I feel like users on those platforms are like genuinely a little more intelligent than others, because they're not just there to look at pictures and videos and news and shit. They're actually there to like have a conversation and open a dialogue with people.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it's a completely different experience where if you're on Facebook, you're sort of navigating to people you know and then looking at what they're up to. When you're on Twitter, you're looking at like a subject matter and you're trying to like, you don't care.
Yeah,
where the
it's
hell
organized better in that regard for the things that we're looking for.
It is. It's a very different world. Yeah.
Also, I think it's easy to say like, oh, Facebook's really, really dumb, but like, at least for me, the only Twitter I really interact with is just like either financial or trading or crypto Twitter. So like these are all people who come from backgrounds that require like everybody shares the same type of interest and has at least some level of intelligence. Like you don't just like, I mean, not everybody who trades is intelligent by default, but like you definitely, I think there has to be at least something there. So I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of, I don't ever like have any trouble on Twitter with like trolls or people really being dumb. I mean, you have the obvious, like every now and then somebody saying some really dumb shit and you're like, okay, blocked. Like it's not hard, but like, I don't know. I
stupid.
Yeah. Like, oh wow, you took time to write that. Okay. See you, bud. I'll never talk to you again. That was fun.
You haven't seen my Twitter feed, have you?
You tried to mess with my energy. Silly you.
One interesting comment on the YouTube side, someone at Laser Resell said, I had an anonymous Facebook account and they asked for photo ID to verify. I haven't touched it since.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's fun.
Yeah, I think last time I tried to go in on, like, I deleted mine, then tried to go back, and I was having a lot of trouble with it, so I just gave up on it and decided to go with Twitter.
Yeah. No. And so the Modern Testament on the Twitch side said, hey, man, have you considered selling your sneakers on StockX? Worth checking out.
Yeah, I'm actually texting. Yeah, I was actually typing back to him in there, so I didn't cut off Henry or John or whatever. But yeah, no, I actually so I do use StockX. I use it for tracking prices and stuff too. I used to be I don't know if anybody else is gonna be into this, but I used to be really big into sneakers and like that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like trading too, especially now with like the applications like StockX and stuff. So StockX is basically like it's a marketplace, and you can sell dead stock sneakers, and it also tracks trends of the sneakers and stuff. So you just have like the sneakers are your asset. It tracks like volume basically on the shoes and stuff. It's really actually kind of cool if you give a shit about sneakers at all. But I've tried selling, or I will try selling stuff on there. The reason I don't sell a majority of my stuff on there is because it has to be dead stock in order to be able to sell on there. So the shoe has to be brand new, never tried on, out, like you can't touch it. So that's the only way you can sell stuff on either that or GOAT. Most of my shoes are very near dead stock, whereas I've worn them like a couple times and they look brand new, but they've definitely been tried on, so you can't sell them there. So that's my issue. Yep. I fucked them up.
Yo, what kind of kicks are you selling, bro? You got some retro J's?
Dude, I do. I got some retro J's. I got a bunch of really nice LeBrons.
What size you wear? You got any size 10, 11s? I need the Wolf Grays, bro. I need the Space Jams.
Bro, I got the Wolf Gray 5s.
Oh hell no, 5s are ugly as fuck, bro. I only rock 3s and 11s. That's it.
Okay, 3s and 11s are. I'm not a big Jordan guy actually. I'm an 11, 13, 6 maybe. I think there's only a couple of Jordans I really fuck with. The quality's so bad compared to all other shoes. But I got a couple of LeBrons that I'm flipping, and I got a couple retro J's that I'm selling mainly, and then I'm gonna mainly move most of my collection over to Adidas. I like Adidas mostly right now.
So
boy, get them New Balances before they blow up.
Boy, yeah, you're right. Actually, you're right because of Kawhi. Or yeah, he got signed to New Balance, and he's gonna get a shoe next year probably. So you're right, actually.
Designers are gonna move to fucking New Balance too, bro. They got some fire kicks, the casual ones, not even the athletic ones. You're about to see some Yeezy New Balances drop, not actual Yeezy, but some.
No, I know what you mean.
Designers, bro.
Like some yeah, no, I bet Virgil will go and do something for fucking New Balance. They've always had nice silhouettes, and their kicks are super comfortable. So I feel you, dude. You're right.
Shit. Well, I don't know that much about shoes, so I'll let you guys have that.
Trade everything, boys. Trade it all.
I've been rocking the same pair of Vans for probably the last 10 years. So
Hey, that's what I recommend. Don't get in if you're not into sneakers already. Don't. It's
I'm
stupid.
not fucking with it. Yeah.
I just wear,
Dude, but bro,
I wear some
honestly,
steel
like,
toe boots.
Sneakers,
That's about it.
sneakers and makeup drops. There's so much money in that shit, especially if you could get a good bot, bro. Like,
Yeah, dude.
if you could buy up this Kylie Jenner and Jeffree Star makeup and just
Oh,
sell that
yeah.
shit for 10x, bro, after it
Oh,
sells out in a
yeah.
matter of seconds, it's a wrap. You could sell
Dude.
makeup for the rest of your life and be fucking straight, bro.
Dude, we might have to fucking talk. We might have to fucking sort some shit out.
I
That's like-
use a sneaker buy, and I would go to the store. I would use the sneaker buy, right? I'd pick them up, and then I'd end up going to the store. I had 4 different stores I would hit on a cycle, and I'd grab all the new ones and then resell them. You literally resell them the very next day for.
Yeah.
The best I
Yeah,
ever did was I think it was a LeBron pair they were like $1,300. It was ridiculous that anybody wanted them. Because
Do you
I
remember
hate
what the
sneakers.
color? Do you remember what the colorway
I
was?
think they were yellow and gray. I think if I can remember right, or black and yellow, or some shit. I got a picture of them on my phone. Believe it or not.
Dude, there's
Um,
dude right now. There's such like the hype died in sneakers for about a good 5 years, and then literally, say what you will, but Kanye brought it back. Like
This
the
would have
Yeezy-
been in let's see, probably 2000. Oh man, 2009, 2010. It was probably
It's
in
the
that ballpark.
taxis, bro. It's the LeBron taxis, probably.
That's what I'm thinking.
I don't know, but they went for 1,300, and I sure as hell didn't pay that. I think I paid like
150
350.
probably.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it was 3 and change. But it
Nice.
was supposedly one that it comes out once a year. They do like a yearly. I don't know. At the time, I was very much into it. And I mean, you can, dude. You could.
No, you can definitely do it on. You can definitely make. Yeah, you can definitely.
If
make
I didn't
money on it.
have a full time job, I could have been at because I started to know the store owners. You know, you go to the same freaking 7-8 Foot Lockers in a
Yep.
25-mile radius, the same Champs footwear, whatever. I can't remember all the stores I went to, but you start meeting the same people twice a week. I think it was every Tuesday and Thursday. I don't remember. They had like release schedules. And they would recognize your face. You talk to them. All you got to do is talk to someone for a couple minutes, and they realize you're not a scumbag. And then if you can engage in a conversation that makes sense for both of you, then it's even better.
Mhm.
And they would, I wasn't the first one they put stuff on the side for. I'll tell you that much right now.
Yeah.
So you can make a full-time gig out of it. And twice a week, you go pick them up, and 5 days a week you sell.
Yeah, literally the new the Yeezy V2, the 350 V2s that are like Arab. That's like basically the shoe right now. If you get one of the reflective pairs and you pay $225, $220 for it plus tax, turn around and sell that bitch for $800 the same day.
Yeah, wow. That's awesome.
I bet you guys are into Gary Vaynerchuk, or some of you at least.
Bro, it's funny you say that. Okay, my engineer, I make music and somebody engineers all my stuff, and he is obsessed with that man. Like, he loves him, and he's been trying to put me onto him for like the past 6 months or so. And I've watched some of his stuff, and like he's definitely got some good shit to say. I see why you said that because of like the eBay or like the eBay
Shoes,
yard
flipping, yeah.
the flipping stuff, and I like the mentality, but I don't know. There's something about him that just like doesn't sit right with me, even though I like a lot of what he says.
He's just a
Yeah.
motivational speaker, bro. Literally, he's for people who want to do shit, but they're too lazy to do it, so they just
Yeah.
do it, and then they feel like they're doing something.
Yeah,
It's
'cause
like-
you're
it's like
watching
playing-
it.
Out in
It's
the
like
world,
playing
that's what I'm trying to
2K,
do.
bro. It's like playing 2K. You could sit on your ass and play 2K and
Yeah.
get the same feeling of actually playing basketball, but you're just a lazy fuck sitting on your ass playing 2K.
Exactly, and that's what I think you just nailed you hit it right on the head of like why I feel that way, because I'm always like, I don't know, just even like, I mean, like, yeah, Bags bringing a good point. Like he says some good shit, like talking about the flip and stuff. Like all of those are like great lessons, but he is literally just like a spokesperson. And I'm like, why is everybody paying this man so much to run around like say the same thing over and over again? Like just get off your ass and like sell some stuff. Like I didn't get it, but I
He's
see
the
why.
OG Phil Nye, boy.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm
You
just kidding.
shit. Oh my god, does anybody have that picture of?
What
What?
is his shtick? Like anybody could sell anything on eBay. So what does he tell?
You talking about
anybody-
Vaynerchuk or Shil Nye?
He just hypes his sales. He makes videos about him hitting garage sales and shit.
Yeah.
Gets people.
Yeah, and he has a podcast basically, but the podcast is like really janky. Like that's the thing is he has a huge following, like millions of people on his social medias. He's big on social media. That's his thing. But he has a podcast that my boy sent me, and the podcast is like one of the most janky podcasts I've ever heard. It's like some random dude like hosting it, pulling clips from YouTube videos from his speeches, and he's like, "Here's a moment where Gary said some enlightening shit. Listen to this," and you're like, "What the fuck is this?" Like,
No, you know what he used to do, bro? You know what he used to do? He used to just have people call in and they'd be like, "Oh, you know, I'm broke, da da this and that." He'd be like, "Well, just get off your ass, get to work. You know, I don't sleep. I never sleep. I'm Gary V. That's why you know, and you're not shit. Stop sleeping."
I feel like Sam Kinison had a skit like that. He was going to be a motivational speaker.
That's
He
so
basically
funny.
just threatened to kill him if they didn't get up and do something.
Oh my God. That's so funny. Yeah, no, that's. Do you watch it, Bagsy? You were the one who brought him up.
Yeah, no, I've watched a lot of his shit. It's actually really impressive how he started. His first business was called Wine Library. He was the first dude to sell wine online, and he took his family's business from like a $3 million business to over 60, and like he didn't get paid shit for it. Like he's from a Russian background, so in that sense, like you don't really pay yourself much. Everything goes back into the family. So
Right.
at 30, he eventually left that and he started his whole media marketing company. And from there, he became fucking huge. So, like, I think he's worth researching, actually. I mean, there is a lot of fluff and it is catered for an audience that might be a bit lazy, but the dude's fucking smart. And just like the flipping shoes part.
Oh, and that's yeah.
Yeah, no, just like the flipping shoes
He's
part.
not dumb, bro. Yeah, see, we just dogged the fuck out of Gary Vee and Bagsy. It's so quiet. Like, yeah, bro, I know his whole life story.
Yo, it's like you guys can't see my face behind this mask.
Yeah,
I'm like
no,
fucking cringing.
He's not dumb, but like, listen, he's
He's coming over tomorrow for dinner and he's like, yeah,
bro. He's not dumb, but it's not something that you need. Like, it's not something you need constantly. Like, because if you're actually involved in the shit he talks about, like, you're gonna be hip to all the trends he talks about.
Yeah, you're like already doing it.
Yeah, you'll already be hip to what's going on because like all he talks about is okay, video content's next. People's attention spans are getting smaller. Da da da. This and that. All shit that's like common sense to someone who's already doing shit knows.
Okay.
But like if you're someone who's not doing anything and you're just lazy,
Yeah, if you're lazy as fuck, you're like, oh my god, dude, this dude's gonna change my life. Like this is amazing information.
Yeah,
I mean, I see the promotional ads in my feed all the time, and I hear people talk about them. And I've only saw like a quick, 10-second clip, and it just sounded like a guy saying, "Hey, if you got some stuff around your house, sell it on eBay."
So yeah, which is
okay. Like,
and that's the thing is like that's great advice, but he has like entire seasons and podcasts on like that one concept. Just like sell all of your shit, make and have a second income of like not having shit and selling it, which like. I can respect the hustle. I just think the one thing he said that really kind of irked me was my biggest like edge in this market is like being patient. I'm very big on like mindfulness and meditation. That's like my something I take very seriously. And he was asked a question in one of his speeches and was like, they were like, "Yo, Gary Vee, like I heard you talk about you like recommend meditation to everybody or whatever. You were talking about it. Like, do you do it or whatever?" And the dude was like, "Yeah, no, I like tried it like at like some retreat and like I've literally," and Gary was like, "I've never ever tried meditation. And the reason I don't do meditation is because my mind is so perfect. I don't want to fuck it up."
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I was like, "Okay, you're an idiot."
I would turn it off.
Like as somebody who meditates every day, I was like, dude, just like stop. Like,
Right.
Yo, I guess if you're making millions of dollars to scream in front of a camera,
yeah, like no, he's rocking it. Like
yeah, there's nothing wrong. I wouldn't meditate either. I'd be like, fuck that. Give me the
yeah, I'm the shit,
scream,
like,
bro.
Be as high energy as possible.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, that's like, yeah, it's just fine. I'm not done. I'm happy somebody's putting out motivational shit, but that's that comment kind of was the one thing where I was like,
fuck this guy. He just
I
spoke
could see
against
that
everything I
turning
care
people
for.
off,
Yeah, someone in chat.
my boy
asked-
fucks with him heavy.
Whoa.
Yeah, your engineer.
Yeah, my engineer fucks with him heavy, and like my engineer is not lazy by any means. Like if he's a way more productive person than I am. He works 9 to 5 and then comes home and then records multiple people each night. Like he has like definitely 2 jobs. Like he just, I don't know, something about it. It just clicks with him for some reason. Like he'll just send this and he'll be like, "Yo, fuck yeah, like this is that shit." I'll be like, "Yeah, yo, like you should sell your shit you're not using. Like that's a good idea." Like,
What kind of music you do, OC?
Hip hop.
All right.
Yeah, I rap, produce, DJ.
Hey, spit a freestyle right now, bro.
Yo,
Let's
bro,
go.
I am not spitting a freestyle right now. I will send you some of my shit though.
Yo, Baggy, you should have got Thoreau on here. I'm getting him to freestyle on the podcast when he comes on.
No way. Oh, dude.
Send me
Yeah.
something, OC.
Wait, who is Tunes? Wait, who?
Yo,
Hold on, what?
I'm rocking, bro. I will get that shit. I would freestyle right now if I wasn't eating. We're about to get it on Charles' podcast.
Oh, shit,
Thoreau on here?
I'm gonna
That's
fly
oh
out.
my
I'm gonna
God.
fly out to Long Beach and we're gonna do that shit live.
Oh
I
god.
am. You got me fucked up. I didn't even know he was in here.
Oh, you didn't even know that was me, bro? What the fuck?
No,
All right, I'm not going out to
dude.
Long Beach anymore. What the fuck?
That's Joe. That's Joe. I was trying to figure out how to get out of that, to be honest with you.
He's like, just some dick is talking shit with the blue icon.
Dude, I like saw that it said Lord, but it just didn't click with me for some reason. I totally forgot he was trying to get on today.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, it definitely wasn't Tunes.
Fuck that up.
We can get into some freestyling at some point, just not at this moment. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we'll see. Link that to SoundCloud and chat.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
trying to fucking open a link right now.
Oh,
My
yeah,
computer is just like crashing.
Yeah.
Yeah, send it over, man. I was an engineer for 20 plus years of my life, so I like.
DM me that shit, bro, or put it in the
Like to
Twitch
listen.
chat. What do you rap about, dude? What inspires you? Do you rap about
Dude.
crypto and bag holding and shit?
Dude, literally, absolutely not. I am my style is like I took a long time off. I was doing it a lot in high. Like the stuff I'm gonna link in my SoundCloud whenever it loads is all shit that I did when I was in high school. It's been like 3-5 years. Like I was going at it really hard. Did it consistently for like 5 years. Had a bunch of shit happen to me. Life got crazy. Wasn't focusing on it. Just kind of got my life back together like a year ago or so. And now that I'm like trying to please sum up the story without talking too long. But basically, I'm just started rapping again and just started making music again for like the first time recently. Now that things are kind of like falling back into place. And my style is not. I don't really have like a thing. The only things I say I really focus on are. I don't waste bars. Like don't just say bullshit. Like I don't just say nonsense. I really like to make my I don't know, like it's like a stream of consciousness. Like the way for me to write is just to get behind a mic with an instrumental freestyle. Basically, freestyle is the easiest way for me to write because it prevents me from overthinking shit. So come up with some stuff, say it off the top of your head. Okay, write down the shit that sounds pretty good, and just kind of go from there. And then I'll sit down secondarily and make the bars more complex or actually write it and try to make the flows and the rhythms and all that shit more complicated. I like to make it like really technical, like little like math equations, like
Got a
little puzzles and shit.
Got a little
Yeah,
Marshall
I know
Mathers
you got-
over here.
So
I know
what?
you got days, bro, where you got the juice and you just come up with some hot bars all day long, and you're like, "Holy shit, bro! I'm the next Kendrick."
Dude, it's sometimes it's like that, and then sometimes I say some stuff, and I'm like, bro, I should not do this anymore. But like, it's just I think that's any hobby. Like, I mean, I started off, and I was doo doo when I started. Like, I was the garbage, and then I did it straight for like 2 years, and I was still pretty bad. And then I was like, okay, I'm understanding rhythm, I'm understanding cadence, I'm understanding like voice inflection, like how to sound on it. Like, I gotta stop yelling on instrumentals and shit. Like, there's a lot of things you have to learn and like practice, and it's literally just writing, recording for like a lot of hours and like getting the hang of it. And I missed it a lot, and I upset I haven't been able to do it for the past couple of years. And like I have a fucking slip disc, so I have like a chronic back injury, and that's like what's fucking my life up right now. So I'm actually home right now, like getting a bunch of procedures. I have a procedure tomorrow morning actually, and like once I can get all that shit situated, definitely getting back to some music because I fucking love that shit, dude. It's so much fun.
Nice, man.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, I can't imagine.
Yo, I gotta head out real quick. But it was nice chatting with you guys. Bagsy, I'll catch you later.
Yeah, take care. Ace.
Comes.
Peace
My-
out.
See you, mate.
See you guys.
Yo, monkey.
Hey, Ace,
Yo, monkey. Get
we're
on.
long in
Get,
Salesforce tomorrow. We're gonna pump that shit to 6,000.
Dude, did you see
Partnership
that thing that
tonight.
just did? Wait, is this new or old news from Salesforce? I just linked something to Hacker, but Salesforce just I just saw something from Bloomberg Asia that said Salesforce unveiled a partnership with Alibaba to enter the Chinese software market. Is that new? It just came out at 9:35 p.m. tonight.
Yeah, new, bro. He updated that shit while we were on the stream. He was like, "Fuck this stream."
Thought they were
Salesforce
talking.
got a partnership.
I thought Alibaba was opening doors to U.S. customers. That was like 2 days ago. Is that the same?
I don't know. I literally, I'm,
Same
like I said,
article?
I've been absent trying to get my fucking back right. I just saw it pop up on my tweet deck.
There-
It's
there was-
Bloomberg Asia.
There was Baba news 2 days ago, and they were talking about what the hit would be like if they allowed U.S. customers, and they
I
said
don't.
they were.
This
they were
this
going
is
through
different
with it.
because this is
Okay.
specifically about Salesforce unveiling a partnership with Baba.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah. And I just saw it pop up right when Hacker was talking about it earlier. That's probably why he did it.
Nice.
Yeah, the news moves so fast in these fucking markets. So like something could happen the night of, and the next day you're like, "Fuck, my thing just pumped 50%."
News moves fast regardless of what it is.
Yeah.
Like take like politics, dude. That shit moves fast. Like financial news moves slower, in my opinion, than fucking political news does.
How's
Yo,
Tesla
this
looking?
shit is actually mad bullish, bro. Did you read the article?
Yo, Monkey, what's
I
up,
didn't
man?
read it.
I actually didn't look at it yet.
Dude,
Yo,
this
and
shit is
boys,
mad
what's up?
bullish.
Yo,
Monkey
yo, yo.
Rothschild, what's good, bro? So, Salesforce basically partnered with Alibaba, and Alibaba is going to be the main distributor of all Salesforce softwares for companies in China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Macau. So, think of all the companies out there that need a good CRM, bro. They're going to be getting it from Alibaba, who's getting it from Salesforce. That's bullish as fuck for both companies.
Did you guys see there was a deal done between Amazon and a realty company? So actually Amazon is going to kind of supplement real estate deals, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Yeah, that broke a few days ago too. I was reading it and it didn't quite make sense. It said Amazon and real estate, and I said, "Nah, shit, here we go." That was only a matter of time.
I have some exposure to real estate, and it's interesting. Though there's a big push for digital this, digital that. To me, that just like I don't know. Fundamentally, it just doesn't make sense, really. But
Yeah, but now you have like you could buy a car online with like Carvana. Now you could buy a house online through an app. You know what I mean? And Amazon
but
just
a car
you know,
is like it's cut. A house is unique. I don't know. It's not the same if you ask me.
yeah, it's not. It's not at all. But that's not going to stop lazy people from using it.
Yeah, bro. You would have thought the same thing about a car a few years ago, that you can never go to Carvana and do that shit. But it's not even a digital thing, it's a convenience thing, bro. I know so many people who don't want to fuck with dealerships and don't want to fuck with salespeople, and they know like literally that they won't get schemed if they go to like a place like Carvana or even like CarMax or some shit like that where things are pretty transparent. So I think it'll be the same for housing, bro. For real.
Yeah, I mean it's I guess a matter of having a good video walkthrough and some sort of Amazon they'll be able to put some sort of 1-year guarantee on it. So it's like that'll take away some of the ease of transaction and let someone else do all the paperwork for you. Press a button, buy a house, bang, done.
What you're doing right now, or what you're seeing right now, is realtors are slowly getting written out of it because instead of touring houses, you just go on Zillow. So you kind of see some of these like it's interesting. They're almost like you could almost just call them like centralized, like big real estate offices that just offered it listed on MLS. They don't really help you at all with showings or anything like that. But it's like a new business model, and to be honest, most people don't need a full realtor.
Yeah,
that's a big change, and that's an online change itself. So I mean, you're right.
And I've seen that in action, and it really is convenient. It's nice. You can narrow down 3 houses that you want to look at out of 150 with a search engine, and then what you can and what you can't afford, and then what you see from the outside and the pictures you see on the inside. You only really need to walk in to a handful of houses, and you just need someone to unlock the door. And when you don't even need that because they give you the key code, what do you need a realtor for? To steal 6% from you? What's the point?
You save the customer some money.
You know what I mean? And that's that's what some of them are doing, right? You pay 3%, right? You pay 3% to the the selling agent, and you keep the 3% that you would have given to the buying agent.
Yeah, and a lot of selling agencies, listing agencies are doing like a flat $500 rate or whatever to put you on MLS, which is really the big thing.
Okay, all right. Yeah,
and then it looks like you have a realtor, because a lot of realtors are cultish and they won't really sell for sale by owner houses.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
interesting thing, yeah, because they kind of know what's happening.
Interesting.
It's funny. I was at the grocery store yesterday, and I was having not trouble, but I was having trouble inputting something in the checkout, like check yourself out cash register or whatever. And one of the people who worked there, literally came to help. It's their job. And in my head, I'm like, you're basically helping eliminate your job in the next 5 years by teaching me this shit, So I'm like, fuck, that sucks. Yeah, but
It's trash, bro.
Nothing
When you
like
use those
watching your own
self-service things
demise.
at grocery stores, they should give you a discount on your shit because you're not using an employee.
I agree, man. It's it's one of those things where you go through the line and say, "What am I even paying for?" It's like, "Oh, I'm paying for that dude behind the register to like bag my shit." So what about when I do it myself?
I have
that happened though.
Like I should be paying myself for this.
I refuse to go through the self checkout. Like you're getting paid, you're bagging my groceries.
Charles,
I never did. I never did until recently. And the reason why is this, just like I'm from Jersey, right? So like every 5 feet you have to pay a toll. And years and years and years ago, they're like, we're starting to eliminate the toll people. And I'm like, that's a job, man. I'm blue collar my whole life. You know what I mean? So, for me, when you take someone's job away, that gets under my skin. So I'm like, I'm not going through. I'm not doing the easy pass thing. I'm not doing the convenient thing. Like I'll stop. I'll pay some cash. I'll go have a quick conversation. I'll be on my merry way. And I did that for years until 20 lanes of cash became 10 lanes of cash, and then 5 lanes of cash, and then 3 lanes of cash, and then 1 lane of cash that had a line that was so freaking long that they force you to go through the automated way. So what do? You go and you buy the Easy Pass or whatever, you get it registered and they send it to you, and then you rip right through and you're like, man, this is so much easier, right? But the same thing at the grocery store, right? They put up these automated self-checks, and I'm like, no way, dude. I'll go to the dude, right? And I'll go talk to them. They scan my shit, whatever. That's their job. So it's cool. I got no problem with that. I'll take the extra 2-3 minutes to do that until I'm freaking standing there and there's one line open, right? And there's 85 freaking registers with nobody on them because they're too cheap to pay anybody. But the self-checkout line's wide open. Well, guess what? Now you're forcing me to go over there because I don't want to wait 30 minutes for the one guy you hired to be behind the freaking register. I'll just do it my damn self.
Yeah, I mean, so there's the thing. It's like until it's easy enough for me or more convenient to me, then I'll do it. But I'm not bagging my own groceries. Fuck that.
Oh, I don't mind doing it. I bag them anyway. I bag them anyway.
If I'm getting a case of beer, I'm like, yeah. But I don't know. If I'm out there really shopping for my fucking food, I'm probably just going to go to the person.
Yeah, I mean, I'll bag them anyway because they usually bag them like shit. But that's an entirely different story. My argument is the company themselves, right? The whatever it is, the HEB, the Kroger, the Pathmark, the ShopRite. I don't give a shit who it is, right? They hire less and less and less people, leaning on their technology, leaning on self-checkout, right? Just as an example, so that they force you to use it just out of sheer frustration, right? When you see 20 lanes and one of them is open with somebody behind it, and you got 30 people waiting in line, yeah, I'm gonna go to the self-checkout. It just makes sense. Hire some more people like you used to have, and you won't have 30 people waiting in line. You'll have one person at each register, bang, you rip right through, rock and roll. They don't want to do that. And I get it. It's a business. You got to make money.
It depends on what you're buying too, bro. You already know if you're just rolling through with a few packs of rubbers, a couple bottles of KY jelly, and some fucking whipped cream and some cucumbers and shit, bro. You're going through the self-checkout. You're definitely not going to the person. Hell no.
I'm definitely wearing your mask. Yeah.
I think we should do we need to short the grocery stores and organize a hunger strike.
I'm just saying it's one of those things. I'd rather go to the human and the blue collar worker as opposed to the self checkout. But they force me into that situation where it's like I'm not gonna wait another 20 minutes. That's fucking ridiculous. I got shit to do and time is money, so I'll go through the self checkout and get the hell out of the store and get back to what I gotta do.
I like to go through the toll booths with the people, but what I always do is I ask them if they have Wi-Fi, and some of them just really think about it, and others just laugh because they realize it's a fucking joke. But either way, it's kind of funny because when I drive away, they definitely feel dumb as fuck.
What the fuck? Dude, we actually have a question in chat specific to Thoreau.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Thoreau. How are we gonna make money online in 2030?
Hey, no, don't give any secrets away. You're coming on my
2030.
podcast.
That's in in 11 years.
Hey, if I'm still alive by then, I don't know. I'll figure it out then, bro. I'm not worried about 2030. The fuck? I'm worried about right now.
Yeah, pussy
Thorough,
still
why
gets
would you not be
sold.
alive?
Huh?
Why would you not be alive?
Have you seen his
Bro.
lifestyle? Dude,
Did you hear what he just walked through self-checkout with? He's got like 30 minutes on the clock. He's on his way out.
All right, so do you see some type of dystopian future in the next 11 years on the online sales side? What are we going to be selling that's not actually available now, or what do you think is going to be a service that people might?
Dude, bro, I'll tell you what. Obviously, I got to show the cam game. That's only getting better, bro, because men are becoming just bigger pussies and fiending for some attention and some affection. So I think that shit's going to get bigger. I think, bro, sex dolls are going to be huge, too. Like, real-life sex dolls. You're going to see people, dressing up their dolls and shit and taking them out in public, taking them out to eat. I'm for real, bro. You think I'm playing, but I'm so serious.
He's not wrong.
It's a cheap
It already happens in Asia and shit, bro.
Yeah,
Imagine
Asian
all the
market
nerdy
is bananas
motherfuckers who
with that
can't get
stuff.
laid.
That
can't
dude
even
already
get a girl.
married the hologram. You saw that, right? Last year?
No.
No, I didn't see that.
Dude, this dude married, he's a developer, of course. They always
Of
are.
course.
You know, and it's like some Japanese anime girl that he fell in love with, and now he has a hologram of her in this jar on his desk. But he had a doll made of her too. You know, one of those super synthetic $10,000 one dolls, but had a straight up marriage, like a wedding, you know, in a freaking chapel. Yeah, and that's on paper now. That's official.
Fuck.
Crazy.
What a world we live in.
It's just the beginning.
Thoreau, I don't think any of us were laughing at you thinking that's going to happen. I think we're all laughing because we realize that's the reality of it.
Yo, some people really don't think that shit will happen though, bro, and it's wild. But I say 2030, bro, stick to anything. If you're looking on that long of a time frame, stick to anything that's like a cardinal sin, bro. Anything that deals with desire, lust, greed, sex. Those markets will always be around. Our cardinal sins are going nowhere, and those are the best ones to monetize.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Good point.
I think gambling is the next pot when it's legalized. I think there will be a lot of startup activity, and it'll be a big boost to the economy, similar to
Is gambling illegal? What the hell's going on here? Country you live in?
What? You don't think it'll be legalized?
It's legal. It's already legal. Like what?
Wait, hold on.
Where
What are we talking about here?
Wait, do you mean
We're talking about
online
gambling,
gambling or?
Yeah, just talking about sports gambling.
Yeah, I mean, well, again, I'm from Jersey, so I mean, I could go.
Well, Jersey's I think one of 3 states.
Yeah,
Really?
that is different. I'm in North Carolina now, and I haven't looked, but I don't see any horse tracks in my rear view.
Well, no, see, horses are pari-mutuel betting, so you're betting against everybody else at the track, so the legality is different.
That's true. Yeah, it's on a house.
Yeah, but as far as housed sports betting goes, I think it's Vegas, Atlantic City.
Well, you got AC and you got Vegas, right? Those are the 2 big sports books. But didn't something come out? I don't 3 years ago about them legalizing that across the country.
I don't know, but I think it'll be a cool startup space whenever it does happen. That's my point, really.
Yeah, I thought it already happened. I could be wrong though, but I could have sworn that came down from the top. That came down from Supreme Court.
I think it's up to the states now. Is I think what you're talking about. I think it was federally passed that it's a state thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a state thing because in Texas it's illegal. You got to go to Louisiana to gamble.
All right,
there you go.
That makes sense. Perfect.
I think once it's more widespread though, we'll see more because I don't really know of any U.S. based unique online gambling startups.
Yeah, where's PokerStars out from?
I think that was foreign.
Yeah, I remember when they got banned. in the U.S.
What was the poker one 10 years ago? The golden nugget or something?
Yeah.
They were huge for online poker until I think they got shut down. I'm trying to remember. I only played a few hands on there, but that was that was like had to be a decade ago, if not longer. That was a long time
To
ago.
Mount Doji, yeah, I think esports will be included in the sports betting thing. I don't see why that would be
Yeah.
any different.
Dude,
I'm pretty sure it's already huge.
That's gonna be where it's at. I think. I think you're absolutely right.
Esports is a
betting.
monster business that's only hitting the tip of the iceberg right now. That's gonna be huge. Hell yeah.
How do we get in on that?
Dude, let's fucking brainstorm.
Be a pro
right here,
gamer.
buddy.
Yeah.
Well, no, you got to remember every aspect of it, right? So it's not just being the pro gamer.
Oh
if
yeah,
you're
no, I
not
was
that
kidding.
good at it, right?
Yeah,
you know,
definitely, that's definitely not the way to do it.
It's the
That
food
shit's hard.
it's the food they drink. It's the food they eat. It's the beverages they drink. It's the shirts
The
they
games
wear.
they play, it's everything.
Yeah,
It's
it's all that shit, man.
It's
And
hosting a chat on the platform they use and getting a bunch of people to come on for free.
I mean,
And selling them sex dolls when they can't get laid.
Yeah, you
Yep.
guys are fine.
we got it. All right, 2030.
There we go.
Any other questions?
Yeah, no, seriously. If Chad has any fucked up questions, feel free to drop them down.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Lord Poirier's like esports, e-girls, when e-drugs. I guess e-drugs might be more. What could that be? Something like virtual reality. That's pretty much an e-drug.
Esports and e-girls are both e-drugs.
Yeah. Should I buy back? Dying to meet you. I have no.
Dude, this
fucking
guy's been
idea.
asking for financial advice in the chat.
I know.
Man,
Yeah, bro, stop asking these questions,
the
man.
funny thing was, he said he was trading on CME. I'm like, yeah.
Wait, who wants financial advice? I'll give it to him. I'm not playing. I don't give a fuck. Let's go right now.
I'm out.
Thoreau, you're an extension of me, so. But
I know nothing.
So I think we covered a lot of topics so far, and yeah, no, we don't offer financial
Chad's gonna
advice on
pop
this
up in the
fucking-
stream and rate it.
Yeah.
As we talked about the Litecoin having,
Yeah. Well, briefly.
did I
Briefly,
miss that? There we go.
Pump that shit.
do you want to add anything on top of that, Mr. John?
I mean, I don't know what you guys spoke on. I got into the chat a little bit late, so I don't know.
I think Lord thought he was going to lose a majority of his Litecoin. I think that's where we ended it.
Yeah, I figured the halving meant I lose half my coins, but I got so lost in our self checkout discussion that I've completely
Yeah,
forgot
that's
about
about as far as it went. And then it went to there was whipped cream, cucumbers, rubbers, and sex dolls. So
Yeah,
I don't
no,
know.
I
I don't know.
I
There
caught
was
all that.
Wi-Fi. There was
Bagsy,
yeah,
I
there
told
was-
you when I get
all
in here,
boots.
shit gets twisted.
Yeah, you're dude.
No,
Nah, Bagsy does it himself. Don't.
Yo, monkey, it's about to
got
get worse,
everything.
man. Someone in
Once I jumped
chat.
on.
Yo, someone in chat said, speaking of e-girls, heard about the e-girl who lost her head? Dude cut it right off. Legit from New York. You guys hear about
Yeah.
that?
Wait.
So let's go real dark.
That's bad. That shit was. I read into that shit. That was the Discord girl.
Yeah,
Dude, that sucks.
Yeah, from
that shit was rough.
to fill you guys in, from what I understood, there was an e-girl in a Discord group, and she went to a concert with
The dude stalked her, and
Yeah, she went with another dude from the same Discord, and there was a stalker from that Discord that basically ended up, met up with her and basically lobbed her head off and started taking pictures and shit and posting it.
put it in the Discord that she
Dude.
was running.
That is so
Holy
messed.
Yeah,
up.
dude, and then sent it to like her family and shit, and then he like tried to kill himself, and he didn't do it, and he got arrested in the morning.
Dude, there's some messed up people out
So
there, folks.
whoever made that
I
joke,
just
it's
found
a
out my new
little
job,
early,
bro.
not
I'm
good.
gonna set up a channel, and we're gonna do To Catch a Predator e-girl style, bro. And we're gonna set these guys up and have them come to murder us.
Yo,
and
I'll
we're
do-
just gonna
I'll
catch them
do
in the
it.
act.
I'll do it. I'll kill some what are they called? Orbiters? Some incel orbiters? That's what people call them? I don't know,
What?
something
What?
like that. Yeah, no, I read into the story. The story we're talking about right now, about this
I was
girl.
reading about that shit as well.
The
You're
what?
pretty on with it.
Sorry, you're cutting out. What'd you say?
My bad. No, I was just saying you're pretty spot on with it. I was reading about it as well, and that's exactly what.
Yeah, that's
like,
what they call
naming
them.
everything. Yeah.
And
I can't believe you just said orbiters, bro. This has turned into a red pill podcast. We can't let that happen.
Bro, I don't even know what it means, and I don't even know what that means. So I'm
Yo,
just...
it's what. All right, so red pill is a section on Twitter. If you guys read that shit or consume any of the content produced by anybody in the red pill gang, unfollow me, block me immediately.
Bro,
red pill is
I don't know what it
garbage.
is.
Bro,
What
it's a bunch of old men and guys who are already married and shit who talk about like, oh, you gotta have multiple women at the same time. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. Basically, it's a bunch of insecure ass, weird ass guys who don't know how to get pussy, and they're already married and shit. They know how to do it in theory. It's like a teacher, bro. They know how to talk about it.
It's like people who teach trading but can't trade.
Yeah, bro. They know how exactly. Those who can do and those who can't teach.
Hey, I liquidated my account.
Are you talking about Flacco?
Yo, stop.
I'm kidding.
Where did he go?
Bro, Flacco is busy doing coke off of models' asses in Beverly Hills right now. He's straight, bro. Flacco's cool.
No, Flacco is cool. That's what I was asking. Where'd he go? And
he's still on Twitter. He just got a smaller account.
That's what I thought. I haven't been able to find him since his account moved.
His life is so dope. He said, "Fuck Twitter, bro." These guys follow me in real life.
Yeah, his new Twitter is more of a fuck around. It's not old Flacco.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, I miss Flacco.
I was gonna say if his old Twitter wasn't a fuck around.
No, it was. This one's just like stupid ass shit.
Oh, okay.
Everyone's gonna be in Charles' DM after the show, like, "Hey, bro, what's that handle? Let me get Flacco's handle."
Let me tell you.
Stop! Don't. Yeah, nobody. Don't do that.
DM me.
Do not do that.
Dumb gay retard.
Yeah, it is him.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's not, but
I know.
I don't want people following Blob thinking it's Flacco.
LOL.
Dude,
oh my god, dude, CT's so fucking funny. I love that. I love that thing.
That shit cracks me up.
Dude, it's so funny. It's its own little fucking ecosystem.
Right?
Let's talk about charts.
Dude, I'll chart some shit up. Let's do it.
Let's do Bitmax.
Wait, BitMEX? What?
Bitmax. BTMX.
BTMX?
Max. MAX.
You're spilling the sauce, monkey.
What'd you say?
You're spilling the sauce, monkey.
Oh no!
Oh no!
The new hot bags consistently. Whenever it goes, I'm ready.
The fuck is BitMEX?
It's
people have been showing it.
It's not even on TradingView, is it?
People have been showing it.
No,
that's what they said when I killed Nizo at 200 sats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks really good actually. Yeah.
Someone got a chart of it. You said BitMax. I've gotta use something other than TradingView right now.
Yeah, use charts.
Dude, go on like Coin Signals or whatever. Coin Trader Pro, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean.
Yo, OCDecaf, I'm gonna follow you back once my temporary suspension is up. I'm suspended for like another 8 hours.
Bro, I don't even believe you. But I appreciate the sentiment. Nah, I'll take it.
Follow me back, man. I don't know how I feel about that.
Who are you? Hey, hold on, I can't see who's talking right now.
They banned me again before I could even follow you back.
So much going on.
Let me go check out your feed, and I'll tell you why I don't follow you.
I'm curious about what I sent you, though. I'll let you know.
Yo, OT, I actually want to talk to you about some meditation and shit, so we should talk offline on that one.
Dude, 100%. That's like, that shit's very near and dear to me.
And yoga heavy, so.
Dude, no, that shit saved my life.
Right? Like that's just some good stuff.
Let's talk about it.
Dude, let's talk. We can talk about it right here if you want. Then I can do that while everybody's charting up some BitMax.
Yeah.
So what do you want? Yeah, go ahead.
About it, man. What do you know about theta waves? I'm not joking.
No, yeah, I don't. I was gonna. He can ask this question or whatever, but I don't know much about like the vocab. I'm more of just like a technique person.
No, yeah, I just wanted to know how long you've been meditating for, if you do any yoga.
So yeah, absolutely.
In your life, you know.
Yeah. So basically, about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I was at like complete rock bottom, like not doing well at all, like way too many drugs, no guidance, and no money. Just a bad place to be in. Yeah, no direction really. I have, hence my name, I have really severe OCD, like actually diagnosed. So that basically it's just an anxiety disorder that makes it's just like a really weird like, anxiety disorder that fucks with your head in specific ways, in the sense that like you can't stop thinking, you can get caught in thought loops. It's really complicated to explain, but I like perform rituals and stuff to basically like I don't know. There's like a lot of bargaining. It's a lot of basically mental processes and loops and traps that you can set yourself up in. And it's very damning if you don't know how to deal with it. And I struggled with it my entire life. And I was in a bad place and was doing a lot of drugs. And one of those drugs I happened to be doing was acid. And I found some really good stuff with a girl who I fell in love with soon after I met her, and we had a very powerful trip. And I had this really incredible insight that was, quote, I cause all of my own problems. And it made me realize, and it like completely restructured the inside of my brain to allow me to take responsibility for everything that happens to me. And from that point on, I was able to realize that, like, you know, people have energies and like all this type of stuff. So basically, it helped me begin the process of, you know, people are like same thing on Twitter. People are terrible. People send negative energy outwards when they are experiencing negative energy, and they want you to experience that. And you, as somebody who's aware of yourself and your energy, you can say, I'm not going to interact with that. And I realized that I found a way to take responsibility for that, and the way to be able to keep reminding myself of that insight of like, I'm responsible for everything. I can choose to be happy if I want. I can control whatever I think or feel or want to be. So like, if I wake up one day and if I want to be happy, I'll be happy. If I wake up in the morning and I want to have a shit day, I'm going to find a way to have a shit day. So I realized that, like, okay, this shit's powerful. I gotta start doing it often. And I literally just started using the fucking Headspace app. And for like 6-9 months, dude, I just like struggled trying to do it consistently, like trying to do it, even if 3-5 minutes a day, just trying to do it every day, where I sit down, turn everything off, just like no phone, no charts, no nothing. Like I do it in the middle of the day now when I'm trading, where I'm like, you know, got all my charts up and shit, doing whatever. And like, it's really hard. I don't know if anybody else feels like this, but like if I'm, you know, if you're on like a long trading binge, it can be really hard to like disconnect. And especially if you're in a position. I literally just turn everything off and I sit there for like 3, 5, 10, now it's like 10, 15 minutes. And I just like count my breaths, and like, I don't know, some reason it works. And like, it just allows me to control like everything in my head, and it allows me to control all of my emotions. And if you do it consistently every day, and you focus on your breathing and you focus on just your overall mental and physical health, life's good. So yeah. And I do the yoga mainly for like I said earlier, I have a chronic lower back injury that I've been dealing with for about 7 years. I was a wrestler in high school and I fucked my shit up. And now it's to a point where I don't have a choice, but I stand all day. Like when I trade, I have a standing desk. I stand all day. So when I'm standing, I'm usually doing yoga and stretching and doing that shit throughout the day. And I do like also yoga sessions because it's like one of the number one things that relieves pain in my lower back. So
there we go.
Yeah. All those things are really important to me. Meditation. If I could give any advice to anybody who listens to me here or anywhere, like in my entire life, it's just try to meditate. If you can do it, it's the hardest thing in the world, but if you can do it, it gives you more benefit than anything else you can ever do in your life.
100%. I feel like especially for people in this sort of space, it's very, very fast paced, and
it's really necessary.
Clear your mind completely. So.
Oh, absolutely.
It's good to hear other people are out there meditating.
Dude, of course. I mean, I assume you mess around with it a little bit.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing, man. I appreciate it.
Dude, of course.
Man. That's good. I like that.
Dude, fuck yeah.
It's getting more and more into it too. But that's why I asked about data waves. Like I said, I was a recording engineer for over 20 years. So I'm like wavelengths.
Right. You're curious about like the science of it. Yeah, no, absolutely. That makes sense. Yeah, no, I am too. It's just something that I haven't focused on.
Yeah, I mean, it's like everything else, right? You got alpha, beta, theta. Like those waves are just how long they are, the frequencies to which they resonate with,
right,
and how your body reacts, right? But so very similar to meditation. It is a form of meditation, but you psychologically allow the vibrations to emanate through you, right? And then
Correct. And that's just
out of you.
Right, and that's the same thing with everyday interactions. Like that,
Yes.
when you start to realize that, like, the stress or the emotions you feel, or the feeling that you get when interacting with other people, that's vibrations and energy. And it's the same thing that you're talking about now. If you were to like sit into like a like a chamber and listen to like specific types of music or binaural beats or some type of theta wave or something, it allows you to kind of connect or trick your mind, or you can kind of become whatever that energy or resonance is.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. I don't know so much that it's trick your mind, but more like put you into that state.
Right.
So like like back in World War II, right? You going back?
Yeah, I was there.
Music. No, I mean, not that you were. I mean, you might have been. I don't know how old you are. But music was always recorded or tuned, I should say, to 432, right? It was instead of 440, which is standard today.
Right.
So, I'm not going to take too much time on this, but it's just a very quick example.
No, I'm interested.
The tuning of 432 was more resonant to the ohm, right? And the ohm was, the
I see your point. I see what you're getting at.
So when you play an A, and when you play a D, and when you play a C, and you play a G, and it's tuned to 432 as a tuning, right? As like that vibration, it's more mellow. You know what I mean? It doesn't fight you. Well, they did studies, and 440 was enough to like agitate you. Just so during the operation of the Nazi regime, they were huge proponents of propaganda.
Right.
So they had the smartest people in the world at the time do studies. And the studies were part one of the very many studies was to retune 432 to 440 just enough to agitate you. Just enough
to kind of instill a little bit of dissonance in everyone.
That's it. And then if you
make them easier to agitate and divide.
Right. If you couple that with what they want you to associate it with, violence or hate or whatever,
you're gonna feel it.
Yeah, you're more like energized to do it. So, going back as that, just as a quick example, you can use those different tunings to bring you back out of the chaos and listen to like some music at 432. And chances are, I mean, I don't care who you are or how sensitive you are to music, you'll probably notice some type of difference, whether it's even ever so slightly subliminal. Or subconscious, or if it's like right in your face, you're like, man, this just really feels different, just as music as a whole. So it's something to just it's the tip of the iceberg in that conversation. But if you are interested in, like you said, in meditation, like if you struggle with trying to meditate, try.
I agree.
To music, either that's written for meditation, so that you could just concentrate on the music and no longer.
Yes, I 100% agree.
It's just an easy way to clear the mind, right?
Well, and it's also just like I've been doing it I've been meditating consistently for 2 years, and like things that I found that were helpful were like I don't meditate. I don't need to meditate with music. I don't do it often, but when I started off, I pretty much always did. I at least had. Right. And if it wasn't music, it was rain sounds or something. It's something. It's even like it's like when I go to bed, I like to have a fan running. Like it's just something. If you don't have that, basically you can hear everything, and then the mind can just get lost, and I can just be like, oh my god, what's my neighbor across the street doing?
Yo, it elicits, bro. Really, if you think about it, like at the very bare core of things, everything that the universe is composed of is just a bunch of atoms that are vibrating, right?
Yeah.
So everything that exists is vibrating at a certain frequency. So by listening to them, it makes your mind and your body and your spirit more receptive to things. That's my take on it, because I used to, bro, download whoever asked that question, download binaural beats on your phone and turn on some theta waves before you go to sleep, and you're gonna sleep deep as fuck.
Yeah, bro.
I swear, bro. You could take a whole bottle of melatonin and not sleep as good as you do with some like nice theta waves playing in your ears.
I'm telling you, literally, you're absolutely right, dude. Put on some fucking either theta waves, binaural beats. Literally, people who are beginners who are listening to this shit right now. I don't know how many people are in here. I'm not looking at the Twitch shit, but like, anybody who's in here who's interested in meditation, go on your phone. There's apps for it. There's Calm. There's Headspace. There's fucking. They have music in them. If you don't want to do that, go on YouTube. Literally just type in meditation music or type in fucking. That's all you gotta do. And like flute music will come up. It'll come up with like different hertz, like different types of like sound waves and shit. And just try the shit. Play something that sounds comfortable to you, and then just sit there. And the number one tip I can give anybody who is trying to meditate is do not sit there and just try to empty your mind. That is what I did for a couple of months. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sit here and not think, and you will go crazy. Don't do that. Don't do that. The number one thing you do is count your breaths. The way the mind is designed is that you have to give your monkey mind, like the part that needs something to focus on. So you sit there and you breathe in 1 through your nose, out through your mouth, and you just count 1, 2, and you try to count to 10. And you're going to be amazed at how fucking hard it is to count to 10. I still struggle with it, trying to count in and out. I mean, it's like a 30-second operation. Because you slow down.
Like I'm laughing because I've been there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like what were you trying to say, Charles?
And for anyone who, if counting your breaths doesn't work, what works really well for me, another, similar thing is I imagine the air that I'm breathing in through my nose as a white cloud, and then the air that I blow out is either a red or black. And it just gives you're still focusing on your breath.
It's a visualization. You're still giving yourself something to think of.
Exactly. Yes. You're either counting or just visualizing it, but it is to continue to just focus on your breath. I think you hit it.
And absolutely. And another example too is that helps a lot of people is when you're sitting there meditating, the music helps in the same sense. Like it gives your mind something to listen to, to do, and also focus on an object that's like a medium distance away and like look at it with just like stare at it. Like you don't have to stare at it intensely, like a soft gaze, but just something to focus on. That way you're just kind of looking at it and you're not just kind of like wandering all over the place. And this might not necessarily be true, but it's really funny. Somebody said this to me once, and I think about it a lot when I meditate, that basically you can't think if your eyes don't move, or like when you're thinking your eyes have to move in that kind of sense. So like, I don't know, something about it, like when you're looking at something and you want to think, you'll find that you like want to move your eyes away from whatever that object is. So it's another way to just kind of keep yourself in check of like where your focus is at. So yeah, staring at objects can help a lot as well. But these are all things that are just like, it's like a very simple exercise, and like it's going to be very hard for anybody who's a newcomer to it. Like you're going to be amazed at how fucking hard meditation is, in the same sense that people are like, when people do yoga, they're like, wow, what the fuck was that? Like everybody thinks yoga is just like stretching around and like playing with goats. And like that shit, if you do like a real, you ever heard goat yoga?
What the fuck?
Goat yoga is like a trend now.
It's some bullshit. I hate all the trends with this.
Dude, it's like hot goat yoga. Like you're like sweating with goats. Yeah, well, people can't just like do yoga or meditate. They gotta like supplement it with shit.
Yeah. Always.
So like,
I'm out of the loop. I think.
Yeah, people like to pet animals while they're doing yoga because they don't actually want to do yoga. You see what I'm saying?
And people have also do a bit of a workout versus,
Are goats like that easily attainable? You can
there's goat farms. Yeah, there's goat farms.
I mean, I would like invite one over for lunch just to like chill with it.
Dude, there's probably in North Carolina. There's probably a goat farm near you. Dude, go to a goat farm and ask them to play with the goats. They probably have a bunch of babies. They run around and shit. They're fun as fuck. Go play with some goats.
That's wild.
That's where Tunes have.
Yo, meditation life hack, bro. Meditation life hack. If you really want to get your mind in a dormant state, do things that are like very habitual. Go for a walk, or in the shower, or go for a long car ride or ride a bike, and then listen to those wavelengths. And that's when your mind will really come up with some solid shit. Because if you think about like a lot of genius ideas you have, like that's why they call it shower thoughts, bro. Because everything you do is so habitual that you don't have to like, your brain doesn't have to use any of its mechanics or energy for it to work. Same with walking or driving in a car. Like it's just it's an everyday thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So your mind just goes dormant. You could think about like
that. And I think to go off that, people say, one of the easiest ways to meditate, or one that anyone can do, is you find, the 2 minutes while you're washing the dishes. That's a big one because it's just a mindless task that you're able to do, where you can let all of your thoughts kind of go and come and go and flow like you're supposed to do when you're meditating.
Yeah, I agree with that, bro. I find some of my most powerful thoughts and like emotional thoughts come while I'm cleaning. Like while I'm like
Oh, dude, I love cleaning.
sweeping up,
Oh,
bro. Yeah,
boy.
or I'm just like cleaning some shit up
Oh,
around
boy,
the
I'm a
house.
cleaning master.
Dude, that's when I get my feels the most for real, bro. Is when I'm cleaning.
Bagsy, I
Shit
think
just
we
hits
went
me and I'm
sideways
like,
there.
damn.
Yeah, we went way too sideways.
Bro, I put in some house music,
We're on
fucking
to
drop
some
some acid,
Windex
clean a
and
house.
some bleach. I don't know what the hell happened.
Hey, man.
Listeners are
There's a
looking for
goat
financial
somewhere.
advice.
I don't know how the hell that thing got here, but
I'm all about goats. Don't
Yo,
worry about it.
I'm. If y'all want to switch it back to some charts, I'm ready whenever. I see some people in here like, what the fuck are going on? Can you chart Ren? So like,
holy
Yeah,
shit.
you want to
Target numbers, sir.
Yeah,
Did
we could
Ren,
be boring.
did
for
Ren
5
When
find
minutes.
Moon?
support? I know it was pulling back a little bit.
when I mean, Bitcoin's pulling back. Yeah, it's
No, he's
They
talking
never
about
even
Ren.
fucking started
Oh,
Bitcoin.
Ren.
Oh my god, we went really sideways.
Ren was crushing it the last 3 or 4 days. I know it was pulling back just before the stream, so I don't know if it's still going or not. Let me see. Let me take a look.
oh,
Litecoin weekly is gonna be big.
Yeah, that's a good spot.
dude, this
after
Ren
you
4
did-
hours about to bust through fucking resistance.
Do you wanna
or
share
support.
your
I
screen?
mean important by big. I'm not saying it's gonna boom. I'm just saying it should be pivotal.
I can show
the
you. Here, I'll put my chart up
daily
on
on Ren's looking real good. Just pulling down right to the top of the wick back from July 1st. It's good structure. What are you saying? The weekly?
Yeah,
You're
on
talking about the
Litecoin.
weekly on Litecoin.
Yeah, the 3-day looks decent right now.
For Bitcoin or Litecoin? What were you saying?
Bitcoin.
Oh, Bitcoin.
Litecoin, Bitcoin.
Let's see. I had that chart. Oh, okay. Here we go.
What? Wait,
The-
now we're
the
looking at Litecoin,
weekly-
Bitcoin. I have Ren up.
I mean, the weekly's nice, man. I got to be honest with you. We're sitting right on the 7. We haven't broke it yet, ever. I don't remember the last. We broke it February, and it's been support ever since. The last time when we pushed up past it was May. We came back down. We touched it in June, early June. We sat back on it. And again, we pushed away from it early July, and again, we're sitting back on it. So if it repeats, historically, then we'd be looking at another good push away from it, get ourselves a higher high. If we break it, though, it's pretty severe the punishment if we break on the weekly for the 7. Man, it's been a while. It's been a good long while since we've closed below it. Right now, we're sitting right on it, literally. Sat for sat, it's sitting at 10.27. Our price is at 10.83, but we got 4 days before we close. We got plenty of price action
I'd like
between now
to
and
see a
then.
weekly close. I'd like to see a weekly close above 87.60. Just that would just be a sign of strength to me. The 3 days, what I was looking at was the 3-day. What do you fucking even call it? I don't even know. Just the 3-day fucking opens and closes, kind of flipped as support there.
Hey,
To me, it looks like it's looking like it's gonna at least sweep 103.
which coin is this? What are we looking at? Also, can I put
Bitcoin.
breaking news real quick? Jeffrey Epstein was found fucking injured on the floor of his jail cell.
Oh,
That was so quick.
I mean, is that really breaking?
I mean, it's definitely. I mean, it literally just happened. But I mean, like,
kind of shocked he's alive. Like,
nah. I mean, that was quick. I mean, didn't he literally just go into jail like yesterday?
I think it was 2 days ago, right?
Yeah, like that's. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how he made it an hour.
that's wild.
surprising.
Dude. He's such.
But there's
a
no way he
fucking
went to general population, so that had to be a guard.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's like he's in like a rich person jail. Like that's what I mean. Like that's why it's kind of.
Yeah, I mean, like you go into general, like you're toast.
Yeah,
but
no, he's not in Gen Pop.
They don't put
Who
rapists. They don't put them in general pop. They're always separated.
Who arrested him?
Who arrested? Who got arrested?
Who arrested him?
Oh, I don't fucking know.
Oh, that came from New York, right? Was New York the one that did
the state of New York, or was it? It was a federal.
Just be in a normal jail. I mean, if he got arrested by the New York police, he's in a New York police jail.
No, I don't think. Dude, he got a.
That's not how it works.
I don't think that's
Not-
yeah.
I mean, unless
when
he's
you're-
I know
not
what
in
you're
a
saying.
federal, he's not in a federal like facility.
I think he is. I think it's a federal. This is a federal case,
It's
though.
it was a
Okay, well
sting
that's my
operation
point. Depends on who
Yeah.
arrested.
for trafficking underage.
Federale's got him.
Yeah, he's not.
I don't follow that bullshit. That's toxic. I mean, I
Yeah.
know about that like thing, but I don't follow the politics of it.
Oh, I don't follow Nick.
Yeah,
either.
I'm a little surprised he's still alive. I would imagine he'd be in a
Yeah,
coma.
he's just a fall guy. But let's go back to our charts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the 3 days actually, the 3 days not looking good for me, in my opinion. Right, we got to be up over 99.94 if we want to close that thing out. Now, I don't really follow the 3 days, so
Oh shit! Does it closes today, doesn't it?
it looks like
Three.
it does, because it looks like the 21st was the last close, so the 24th.
Does
No,
that
the
mean it opened today?
It should have opened today. So we did close. We closed under the 20 MA for the second period in a row, well under the 7 EMA. Not healthy, but still, even with the push down earlier down to 95.01. So this has to be. That's not right, because that didn't happen after 8 o'clock. We didn't go down to 9,500, did we? No.
I like a 3-day over 0.01 and then a weekly over whatever I said there. If we could get that, I think we could possibly get a nice bounce, but there's no reason to push it. There's a lot of good alt setups in my book right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of things shaking. Reversal points happened, I don't know, somewhere around 14 to 20 days ago. And, obviously you wouldn't know at the time, but since then they have created a higher high, higher low, and starting to work on that cross pattern. So if you start to creep into that next higher high that is higher than your low on the way down, then you got some setups brewing, and that's happened on a bunch. We've been looking at a few in the last few days that are all sort of approaching that same type of setup. They all got the same bear diff, right? They all got that same higher low. Every freaking chart looks exactly the same. It's just which one's going to go 10% in the next 60 minutes and which one's only going to go 2%. So,
I mean, I agree with what you're saying, and I know that's the case. And I mean, it's getting more true when we see like index. There's like a shitcoin index nowadays that you can trade.
I saw that. Yeah,
and so that's going to increase correlations. But
for sure.
I personally try to stay away from the super liquid, super popular coins. Some people, actually, I think most people are quite the opposite. But in general, I try to be at the ones that are less correlated, just because it just seems, I don't know, it seems like my analysis is going to make more of a difference there than on these super correlated coins. That's kind of the point.
Well, I think that the correlation of the coins, you get less movement. I mean, any major, even though it looks like it's a great move, it only went 2-3%. Where you get some mid cap, somewhere in the 40 to 80 range, right? Those things will cruise, 15-20% on the same move. So, not like anything's like decoupled to an extent that we can measure. But we did see, in the last 7 days, we've been trending down on dominance. So that's the first time that's happened in 2-3 weeks since we had a little bit of a grace period. We're starting to come back up in alt. You could see the liquid though moving, right? You could see that whole BitMEX thing that happened last week or earlier in the week. That pulled a lot of liquidity out. That ended up sideways and flat on Bitcoin, which gave people a reason. You know what I mean? Now it sort of just pushed them and said,
There are alts that act independently, and I agree with what you're saying, but there's quite a few out there that you just have to find them. But there's certain ones that are almost opposite of the group.
Yeah, I mean, not everything is to the T, and you can look at a 7-day graph down CoinMarketCap, and you can spot out the 15 that aren't doing what everything else is doing. I mean, that's not difficult. If they have liquidity, that's the only thing that has me. Whether I'm going to trade it or not, is there enough volume to trade it? If I have to get out, I want to get out. That's priority when I look for trade setups. After I see the setup, I check liquidity. And if I can't get out of that trade, or I think it's going to be an issue to get out of that trade, I just won't trade it. And some of those that are like completely decoupled, as if they're not even in the same market or the same time period, Some of those are running on like 12 to 20,000 trading volume a day, and I'm not touching that. There's no chance.
Yeah,
Even if I was trading with $50, I wouldn't go in with something like that. I'll never get out. It's just not worth it. It's not worth the risk. I mean,
Yeah, there's no point getting trapped.
Definitely is.
one of my old favorites
Stop.
when I used to stream every night.
I mean, I disagree. I play the illiquid shit, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I want to
mean,
learn
so
to
do
play
I.
a liquid shit.
I mean,
No, I love it. I mean,
party, man. I mean, rock and roll. I want everyone to be successful. If you can rip like 80% on an illiquid coin that's
Dude,
trading,
hell
at-
yeah.
That's my game right there.
that's all you.
80% is like barely more than the spread on a lot of this shit. I mean, some of it. Not literally, but I mean,
Oh my
like,
god, my
yeah.
risk management's
when you
so
look at
tight
real
that like makes me
liquidity,
panic.
My
Like-
risk
Oh, I
manager
haven't.
won't let me look at it.
Yeah, my risk
When you
management,
look
like
at
I
real
immediately
liquidity,
panic when I hear that. Like I'm like,
Zero risk management.
No, man, dude. Don't get me wrong. I'm a DJ at heart. Have been my whole life. So there's a pocket stash for the ultimate DJ moves, and
There we
I'm
go.
cool with it. But it's not it's not my bread and butter. It's not what I do all day. It's something for 4 a.m. Into the Asian market is getting lunch, and then it's like, all right, I'll play around. But yeah, it's an entirely different trading experience. They don't respect any TA at all. It's just
Nope.
it's gonna go.
well,
It's gonna-
one thing I think is interesting is to kind of, if you get some illiquid markets, and I think it helped me, and it's not necessarily something I do often, but it helped me understand trading better, is to kind of play the bigger part in the market and kind of just understand the tactics that go along with it.
I'll tell you what, you
it's
got
not
a really good point, man.
I mean, if you have a way of acquiring it that's not going to fuck you completely, you kind of have to find the right time to do it. But if you have a lot of a coin, it's kind of it's interesting to be able to play that role, and it'll teach you things.
Yeah.
And going forward on illiquid things, you can kind of just tell what's happening. And the truth is that liquidity acts the same whether it's small or large, but it's just kind of harder to see when you get into super liquid markets like BTC USD. There's so many exchanges, most of them don't even show their full order book.
Yeah. No, for sure. That's a huge point. And I had that conversation earlier today about think like a maker. And that's where, I did a couple theories or theses or whatever you want to call them, just as fun for like where the market might be in 10 years, that type of thing. But the idea was to think like a maker. So if I was a maker and I'm sitting on, $500 million, how the hell am I going to hide that from the market? How am I going to get people to buy it? How am I going to sell it? There's not enough people on the other side that are willing to buy it. And how am I going to buy it if there's not enough people on the other side willing to sell it? So very much like Forex, you have to position yourself in ways where sometimes you're playing both sides and you're always calculating position size. It's always what would be enough to get filled without scaring the book. You know what I mean? Where everyone's like, oh, there's a wall, I can't get over it. But there's times where I've watched, super shit coins just on the book, just to understand flow. And you could see one order for, $1,000 in a book that has, 20 grand total. Is huge, right? That's a wall. But the interesting thing is you'll see all the front runners, right? So you throw the wall up at whatever, let's just say 500 sats, and you'll start seeing the front runners because they want in, right? So 501. Those orders come in 502, 503, 504. Now all of a sudden your 500 wall is getting further and further down the book, and you're like, holy shit, I kind of accidentally started a pump, not on purpose, but people
You're
are
exactly right.
People
This
are
just happened to me.
Coin, and they want in. Like it's a good setup. They want to buy it. They see a big order, so they're like, well, that dude wants a whole bunch of them. I'll go one sat higher, so I'll go 501, and then say, oh shit, my 501 didn't get ordered. This guy's over at 502. Like, well, fuck him. You know what I mean? 503. Well, fuck you. I'll pay 505. Next thing you know, you're at 515. You're like, I didn't get my fucking order filled at 500. You know what I mean? So you have to be like, all right, I'm just gonna go like 30 at 500, another 30 at like $4.99. I'll wait for them to bring it up a little, push it back a little, then I'll get it again at $500. But I can't show my hand that I want $1,000 worth of this shitcoin because it'll fuck everybody up. It's the same thing on the sell side. You know what I mean? Now all of a sudden you got a ton of interest. I'm trying to get out of this trade, right? So if I'm trying to sell at 500, right, and then you got a whole bunch of people like, well, I got to get out of this trade too. That big dude's getting out of this trade. There's all that interest. Well, I'll sell at $4.99. I'll take the hit, and then it's $4.98, and then someone front runs him at $4.97. You're like, motherfucker, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to get out of the trade. Next thing you know, it's down to $4.50, and you're like, dude, you got to pull your order. You got to wait for it to work its way back up, and then you got to start sliding in smaller orders. You can't throw the $1,000 order on. You got to throw $87, you know, so it doesn't look so bot-like, you know, a little bit more human. Throw like another $100 order right after that one fills. Like, all right, you know, I'm starting to get out of the trade. Hey, it's going up a little bit. But that mentality, exactly what you just said, understanding that flow on a shit coin, because no matter who you are, you can find a coin that has like literally $15 trading back and forth. You can go on IDEX and find that all day long. And you could really see, you know, what it is like to be a maker, and then put yourself in that position when you're on MEX or when you're on Coinbase or Bybit or Deribit or Bit7 or whatever, and try to understand these dudes that are moving accounts of millions of dollars. Think about how they have to place their order to get it filled, you know, whether they want in or out, right? Someone is always buying and someone is always selling. That's a fact. That's how the market operates, right? There's no other way around it. So think about what they actually want to do and how they can position themselves to do it. And the idea as a retail trader is like, I'm not fighting these dudes. I'm riding their back. I want to be that stupid sucker fish on the shark. You know what I mean? The crumbs are cool with me, man. I'm fine with that as long as it's in the right direction. So if everyone's buying, I want to be buying too. I don't care if I'm the last dude buying, just as long as I'm buying, it goes up. And when I sell, I had a gain. That's it. That's all I care about. So I want to understand where they're going. And if I know where they're going, then I could sneak in because my orders are small. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to get a huge monster bag filled, and I can spread them. I could do ladder bids in and ladder bids out, and I could cover a zone. And that zone will average me into a decent position. And I can ladder myself out of that position too, because as you see on MEX, you'll see stop ons left and right. That's just how that market operates. But you could see a gigantic wick form, and you know it's time to get the hell out. You should have already been out at that point. But, you know, that's where you see the market sales, and that's where you see, like, you know, buffer overrun or whatever the hell the error is that goes up there, you know, every time the market gets intense. But that's the idea. If you could think like the maker, you know what I mean? You're already 80% ahead of the rest of the market. Or
how can someone think like a maker?
The rest of 80% of the market.
Yeah, Chingiz, or someone else, how can someone think like a maker? Is it by staring at order books? Is it by studying a certain platform?
Yo, boys, hate to cut you off. This has been
Fuck
real.
you,
This
Thoreau.
has been fun, but this has not been real fun. I've got some. Oh shit! Someone just dropped out the chat. I've got some daddy duties to take care of,
Oh,
so I'm gonna
shit.
catch you boys later.
Do
Good night,
it.
Thoreau. Good having you.
Peace out, my dude.
Daddy Thoreau. But yeah, so how can one go about studying
Don't
these
do that.
market makers, these market magicians?
Just like I said, man, head over to a coin that's very illiquid and watch it move and play it, be it.
Play the fucking
I
spread.
literally
Start by
just
playing
went
the
through
spread.
this.
If you play a spread that's 15% and there's $1,000 volume a day, let's say you catch whatever 80% of it, you can make you're playing with a little bit of money here. You can make your little $100 into 115 and then 130, because really you're playing the spread here. And whether it's like really the spread or just the spread between real liquidity, you can kind of gain quite a position in a coin if you just keep the in a way, kind of like he said, if you front run the real liquidity, because in a lot of these coins, there's very few buyers, very few sellers, and it's kind of easy to put yourself on the second tier, third tier. And really, I'm not saying do this with a lot of money. Like I said, play with 100, 200, $300. Like, just learn. You're doing this for strategy of it and the game theory of it, really.
Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, it's a learning lesson. It's much harder to do it by watching. Like if you're physically in it, once you got, so to speak, skin in the game, it's a little bit different. You're going to pay a little bit more attention because now it's your money on the line. But like you said, man, $100, dude, will do it on some of these coins. Trust me. I mean, you go on Ether Delta, and there's probably 1,000 coins to choose from where you can understand the way it moves. You want something that at least has enough interest so that you're not waiting 4 or 5 days.
Absolutely, no. Yeah, you can fuck it up easily for sure.
Yeah, you want to at least be in something that has interest. You know what I mean? You want other people watching it, and not just you. And you don't want dormant orders from 2015, 2016 that are just sitting there. You want people actively moving it. But you can watch it. You can look on. CoinMarketCap probably isn't the best for it, but there's volume sites that'll sort of tell you, what the hourly or what the 24-hour volume is looking like, and plot it on a graph over the last 30 days and just see if there's a little interest, the little uptick. And if that's the case, then that's something that you might want to pop into and just try to understand, put yourself in the position like, I need to get into this trade, or I need to get the hell out of this trade. And I'm looking at the books and they're real thin. What do I do? How do
the reality is,
that situation?
For somebody, the books are always thin in any market. Is kind of the whole, the circular, like the full circle thing here is like, for somebody trading Bitcoin, the books are just as thin as for us on fucking IDEX. You know what I mean? And so the strategy is really one and the same.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's dudes out there that have trouble getting their orders filled. You know what I mean? And if they're sitting on 50 million and they got to move, like we watched the Tusky thing all night long, right? So, I mean, these aren't big orders at 113,000. That's whatever. But in the last few days, I've seen a couple 10 million rips, and it's for them. It's a little bit more thought has to go into buying or selling at 10 million, especially if they don't want to do it at market.
And slippage
yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So they position it, right? Like I said, if you want to understand this, start, and don't pull yourself out of crypto, but read up or study a little bit on Forex, because that is how it works. That is the operation. There's literally 6 people trading Forex, and it's 6 banks. I mean, that's it. And all day long, all they do is try to rope the retail trader into getting their money, right? Providing liquidity for the big dog. So if you can understand the concept, it applies in every market, everywhere, on every coin, on every exchange, across the board, period. It's just trading. So if you can put yourself in that situation, understand that you're retail when you're trading Bitcoin. We all are. I mean, I don't know who the hell you guys are, but you know what I'm saying? I would imagine we're all retail. And we want to be, we want to be chilling with the big dog. We want to go in the same direction as they are, because they're the ones trying to create the market for everybody else. But they have the problem. They need to get their orders filled, right? We're going to get our shit filled. We don't got to worry about that. They need to get their shit filled. And it's way harder getting a $50 million buy order, at 10,175 than it is to get a $400 or $500 or $1,000 or $10,000 buy order at the same price. It's very, 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 very different. And you might have to ladder in, you might have to ladder out, you might have to create a situation that gets you a better order. That's not unheard of or unseen in this market.
You look at, there's a bunch of, there's a few altcoins that are just kind of like blatantly obvious, like occasional faked volume on pumps. In certain cases, it's kind of obvious even who's doing it. It's interesting. And again, it's just a game theory. I'd be dumb to think it wouldn't happen in traditional markets too.
For sure. For sure. The only thing about traditional markets that makes it a little bit different is if you're on the board or you own 10% or more of that, like it has to be declared. You know what I mean? If you're buying or selling, that needs to be declared, and that's well respected. Now, if you're an investment firm, I don't give a fuck. If you're in charge of $1 trillion account, Bob's your uncle. You know what I mean? Those orders go in and out all day long, and the game for them is, how do I hide my order? I don't want everyone else to see it.
Hide the salami.
Exactly. Yeah. The thing is, if you were to show your hand and say, okay, Facebook earnings is coming up, I want to short it. Okay, so then you put, $100 million on short positions, and the whole world sees it, right? Well, what do you think is going to happen? Of course, it's going to go short, right? But who's going to buy your other side of it? So, you have to create the market, or at least for those guys, they need to hide their orders. They need to make themselves look retail, so that not everybody's hip to the game, because otherwise they ain't got no one to sell to.
I love the way I don't know if you guys follow Majin on Twitter. His bio is liquidity game theorist, which I think is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. It's been there for a little bit. That's what he's funny.
Isn't that the same as Loma's? No, he's a liquidity provider. Never mind. Majin. Let me pull this guy up. Liquidity game theorist, turbo pleb.
Dude,
you don't follow Majin?
He's insane.
I call him Majin.
Follow whatever it is, dude. You gotta follow him.
Yeah, he's a special cat.
Just nuts.
But yeah, boys, I gotta run off in 5. If I could ask each of you quickly, what's one word of advice for someone trying to get into crypto? What would you tell them? I like doing this every segment of every stream if I can.
Dude, hell yeah.
Well, you want to start?
I'd like to go first.
Oh yeah, Monkey, go for it, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna sign off right after. Just market buy. It's the green one. Go for it.
Thanks, bro.
Later, boys. It was good. Enjoy.
Man, take it easy, dude.
Man.
Who wants to go next?
No, I mean, I'll go next. I think I said something similar last time I was on, but start small, start slow. This market moves very quickly. There's always something going on. And when I first joined, I, had first held for a while, and so I had come into some money. And then I was just, trying to do this, that. I didn't take the time to really research or learn. So I think if you're just getting into things, start slow. There's plenty of people online that are willing to help. And just know what you know and know what you don't know before you get into any kind of positions that'll end up costing you a lot more in the long run.
Yeah.
Well said. Patience.
Absolutely.
My man.
So, yeah, go for it. No, come on.
All right, cool. So I'll tell you all, because I mean, just like the other people in here, they'll tell you the same thing. All of us were noobs at some point, and we all did some dumbass shit. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I got into this, like, don't listen to anybody else. Like, do not trade on anybody else's positions. Like, if somebody posts something on Twitter, I don't give a fuck if it's the most obvious setup in the world. Don't take it yourself, because your risk management's going to be different, and your profit targets are going to be different, and you're gonna respond differently than that person is. And it's just, I mean, I've tried to do it. Like, I do it. Like, I take my own trades only, and then on the side I'll paper trade like other people's trades that they say on Twitter and stuff, and just see how they go, just for fun and shit. And like, I remember when I first started, like, just taking, if you just do not take people's positions, like, do your own research. Like,
you took
this
too
shit
many
is hard. Huh?
You took too many.
I was gonna say,
positions.
like, yeah, like, dude, like, this shit takes time. Like, you need to put the work in. You gotta use a fucking stop loss. Use a stop loss every time you trade. Yes. I know other people don't do that, but like that is my saving grace. It's like, I cannot trade without one. Focus on risk management. Watch Cred's fucking videos. Risk management is the most boring part. It's not the fun gambling 100x BitMEX shit. But like, if you don't have good risk management, it doesn't matter. You won't have enough money to trade. So risk management, stop losses, and do not blindly follow people, because like, I did it and lost some money. Don't do it.
I mean, I'll definitely echo risk management. That would have been my number one thing to say. I mean, risk management and capital preservation, those are
number one.
The same, and it's the least sexy subject in all of crypto.
It's the most important thing.
It will not make you millions, it will save you from losing
them.
everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the idea behind it is so simple. It's so in your face, and it's ignored 100% of the time.
Just think
every
about
new
like
trader ignores it.
I got a good example. Think about it this way. Here's how I think about it. Think about it like as ammo. Like when you're trading, say you got $100 in your account, right? I limit myself to 2% on each trade. That was probably tighter than most people. I don't ever lose more than 2% of my trading account on each trade, and that allows me to have 50 trades. So if I did it in a sense, if I lost, like think about it, if you don't have risk management and you trade Ripple one night and you fucking don't have a stop loss on and you think it's going to go up, and you wake up in the morning and it's 20% down, or 15% or something insane, like something happens and the position's severely against you. Well, you should have cut it, because now you're down here and you're like, oh, I got to reassess. Oh, I might as well hold on. It's probably going to come back. But what you don't realize is that when a position goes against you, it has to make like much more percentage than it has to, like, to go back up than it has to go back down.
Yeah,
so
so if you lose 50%, you need 100x or 200x.
Yeah, exactly. And people don't think about that. Like you can
100% of $50, right?
Yeah. And if you cut 30% off of your account, like out of one trade, you now have you make less money when you trade. You have less opportunities to trade. You can't do anything. You got to work back to zero. So
I've noticed a trend in position size, and people say that they'll risk 2%, 1%, the RRs 1, 3, 3, 1, whatever.
Right.
But I've noticed like a trend in position size calculation. People don't actually know how to calculate their position size. They don't understand that. So if you have $100 account, right, and you're risking 2%, that means that you're allowed to lose $2 on the trade. Now, if your stop is 1% away, that changes your position size. If your stop is 10% away, that changes your position size.
Yeah.
And
you're exactly. That's a great point. It's not.
They don't take into consideration that. So here's what I'm going to leave with. And this is as old as trading.
We'll let Bagsy go.
Plan your trade and trade your plan. So actually plan it out. Throw it on a chart. This is my entry. This is my stop.
Write it down. Make a checklist.
Calculated percent loss, right, to my stop, which means that when I take my capital and I do my division and I do my multiplication by 100, I know that my position size at this level, and if I lose it at that level, I will only lose X amount percent of my trade. Look at it on the chart, and then
draw it out, write it down, make a checklist,
and then trade it. And allow it to unfold. Allow your stop to get used.
Let it plan the trade. Let it happen. Either get stopped out or let it trade. And if you get stopped out, sometimes it's going to suck. You're going to get stopped out because your stop's too tight. But sometimes you're going to be so grateful you got to stop because the price just fucking dumped and you would have been 10% down. So
okay.
Yeah,
you need the preservation to stay in the game. And you need to stop there in order to do it. Binance is a little bit different, so you got to do something like
there is no reason you should ever get liquidated. Don't ever do it. Like I'm in like the Cryptopolis and shit. Like, don't get liquid. Like, there's no reason to do that. I don't know how people do that. Like,
well, you do the 100x and you use
don't
it. You use the lick as your stop. That's how people get liquidated.
Stop.
Yeah, use your licks as your stop. That's our final advice.
Don't leverage trade if you're
don't leverage trade. Don't do it. Literally, just don't do it.
Yeah, learn how to trade first, and then if you want to.
Once you're consistent, leverage. Then maybe put some leverage on.
Yeah, you can still leverage trade.
Pretend it don't exist.
Yeah, you can still leverage trade as long as your position sizing it makes sense. But I guess what I'll leave on is
correct. If you know how to do it properly, yes, I agree.
Because leverage.
If you know how to do that, then you know how to trade.
That's fair. Yeah, there you go, back. Thanks.
You know what I'm saying? So then it's okay. But if you're just starting out and you're like, what do I do? Oh, Mex looks fun.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah. So I'll leave on.
Or you pay the tuition like everybody else.
Yeah, I'll leave on 3 notes.
I went to school there.
First note, I'd say.
Yeah, it was good talking to you.
Yo, good night, brother. So yeah, first.
Taking off.
Take it easy.
Peace, dude. Good to have you, Charles. First note I'd leave off
And now
on.
Bagsy.
If you're gonna put a stop loss on mechs, account for an extra like $20-$30 of slippage to your stop loss. Second thing I'd say,
Oof.
try to at least have 50 or more percent in BTC of your entire portfolio. And this is not financial advice. It's just if you want to survive and you're still learning how to trade, you should mostly be in BTC. I just say 50% to be conservative here.
Yeah.
I would say even 70, 80. And thirdly,
yeah, dude, that's super conservative. Like I would, I'm thinking 80%.
Yeah, and thirdly,
Sorry.
If you're gonna trade, we all can manage a different amount of things. I would say start with one trade at a time or two at most. I can manage up to 4, but even for me, that's a bit much. I would rather just focus on less, and from there just wait for it to play out and see how that goes. But so that's pretty much what I have to add for that. But it was really good having you guys on.
Can I add one thing to that?
I
when you're done,
you guys coming on, and I hope you guys at home had a really good time. So if you haven't already, hit that follow button, subscribe, hit a like on YouTube, and I will catch you on tomorrow's stream at 2 p.m. All right. So have a good night, guys.